Boys and girls. I don't know why kids are watching this. Tell them to get out of here. Because we are going live right now in Casa della Fright Club. We didn't put our lasers on.
Our lasers?
We had the laser. Oh, you know what? We could turn these on.
Oh, we probably should.
Hold up. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. This is live stream with the click of a button. Boom!
We did
Magical
forget to do that.
production. Quality. What do you mean we forgot? That was scripted stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh, you be giving our secrets away to everybody here. They can't know. Anyways. I hear the music. Okay, cool. Everything's working. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a Tuesday evening live stream. The first one of May. First one we've had in over 2 weeks. We've been kind of on a, what would you call it? A hide and seek game. We'll use that. We've been hiding for the past few weeks. I hope you guys are doing good. We're doing fantastic. We're feeling great. Hondo's over there. He's going to be making an appearance later on tonight's live stream. We got a couple things to talk about tonight in this live stream because we were blessed with HNN, Horror Night Nightmares. If you don't know what that stands for, Horror Night Nightmares. I say HNN. It doesn't sound HNN. Anyways, we got blessed with version 2 of the speculation map. We will be discussing that live with all of you guys. Just going to go over some of the things we think could be what this symbol means, you know, what candy in the aisle you're picking kind of deal. At the same time, too, we'll be talking with you guys, see what you guys think. We'll be talking with Stephanie over here as, you know, the expert of Halloween Horror Nights. You'll be giving us the insights to these maps and how they're created and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
I have no idea how they're created.
And that's how they're done, just like that. But yeah, so I mean, we'll be getting into some fun stuff that we have, and we have an announcement to make later in the live stream.
Okay. I was gonna.
I love how you're like, okay, what is it?
I was gonna start it out by saying thank you to everybody for helping me celebrate Brian's birthday.
Thank you guys.
Everybody
Thank
in
you.
the Discord.
Yes, I hate all of you terrible human beings who decided to go out of your way and make my day. I appreciate that. Yeah, my birthday was
Saturday,
was it? Yes, that was my birthday. Yeah, Saturday, May the 4th be with you. Rock on, Star Wars for life. Yeah, so Saturday, May the 4th, had a birthday, and little did I know that my own community would commit mutiny on me, and you guys literally banned me from my Discord, and I had no...
Didn't ban you from your Discord.
You banned me from my Discord. I was the king in charge, and little did I know, I didn't even have access to the throne room. So I went in and tried to do some work in Discord and send you guys some messages, and nothing was just working like it usually does. I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, something's going on. And I mean, you know, it was a little too late until all of a sudden Saturday stuff's like, oh yeah, by the way. So community, love all of you guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. That was an awesome surprise. And because of that, because of you guys, I don't know. Let me go back in the chat. Let me see. I don't know. Have you guys noticed something different with the live stream? Has anybody noticed something different with the live stream?
I did see a few.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me get in here. Give me a second. I don't ever look at the chat, guys. If you ever think I look at the chat, I don't. I never read y'all's comments. I don't look at what y'all talk about ever. It's not about you. It's about Hondo. Let me see. Yes, Fred. Yes. Hey, you fixed the low frame rate issue. Yes. So because of you guys, we were able to diagnose the computer that we run this off of. We were having software issues with my laptop, and it was also a connection issue that we were having with the camera. I promise this won't take too long. But we're having a connection issue with it, and for years we've been trying to diagnose it. We've taken it to the shop. We thought we fixed it. We came back and it didn't work. And then we also got a piece that we've been wanting to get that could help that. And because of you guys, with the whole birthday mutiny that you guys pulled off, which I guess we'll let it slide, it worked out. We were able to get something finally fixed. And then I worked and tweaked something in the computer that was hidden inside some cache. You don't want to know how long I've been digging into this. Finally got it to work. So it should look crispy. It should look clean. I hope it does. But
Hopefully.
that's a shout out to you guys for the mutiny. So I guess it worked off. And we were able to already get some equipment. If you guys follow us on our Discord channel, we were able to get some of the equipment that we need to do the studio. What you're seeing is part of it. You know what? Maybe during this live stream, maybe we pick up the camera and kind of show you guys around a little bit, because we will be extending the studio, the room that we're kind of into. This is half of it. We're going to try to extend into the next half. So we got some equipment, we got some stuff that we're going to put into. So huge thank you to you guys, because now we can get the show going a little bit. Not fully. I still need a full house to like burn down while we're in it during a live stream. There's a whole episode written out that we have to get fire department approval and all that. There's a lot going on. Anyways, I want to know real quick, as we're starting the live stream, and I'm trying to get a sip of this here in a second. I know I've been holding on to this. How are you guys doing? Where are you guys watching from? You know, smash a like, all that kind of stuff, whatever the YouTubers say and stuff. I'm excited to talk about the speculation map for Horror Nights Nightmares, what they released, the version 2. We have some good changes on there. We have some good things that we're hearing from the inside. And at the same time, I'm also hearing not so good things. So this is going to be kind of an interesting conversation, because I feel like I'm very 50-50, but I'm also extremely excited. So we got some things we want to discuss and talk about. But again, thank you for the birthday surprise and all that stuff. That was incredible. I did tear up 5 times in the span of 10 minutes.
I like very like cheaply put together a little video.
No,
it was just on my phone, and I put it
awesome.
together in CapCut. It wasn't anything special. I just spliced together the videos.
I thought it was special.
But I put that in the Discord for the people who did contribute, and he did tear up a little bit.
A lot. I appreciate the love. You guys have been incredible. I know we got some people in here that's like, okay, we want to see the speculation map and stuff. Okay, look, we're trying to go 2 hours here in a live stream, and to talk 2 hours about one little map where there's only 3 things change, it takes some skill and talent. Okay, it takes some skill and talent. We'll be getting into that, but I want to talk about some stuff too. Like you guys rock. I don't know if people are realizing, but there's a specific time coming up. It is May 7th, Tuesday right now, 8:49 p.m. And we are just a little over 3 weeks away from our 4-year anniversary of being on YouTube. And the first year that we started in 2020, we put together some random YouTube videos, just kind of feeling out, trying to learn some stuff. How, are we going to want to do this thing? And we've always had kind of in the back of our mind of wanting to do Halloween Horror Nights content. We didn't know what was the extent of HHN content that we wanted to do. We just knew we wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. And you can ask Stephanie. You guys can ask Stephanie. We have some close friends of ours that, I'll bring things up to, and they sometimes go to Stephanie like, Stephanie, is he being for real? And Steph's like, yes, unfortunately, he is being for real. Some of the ideas I have are too ambitious, I guess. And we've had some ideas for over, now it's coming up to 6 years now for me. And I think this is the year that we're going to finally be able to pull some of those ideas off. And I'm really excited. And to look back at how this community has grown and where we've started, it's kind of cool. And one thing I want to put out there too, and this could be a chill live stream, guys. This live stream is going to be very chill. We're going to be laid back. We're going to be chatting with you guys. We're going to look over the speculation map. So calm down. For some of you guys who can only last 3 seconds, just calm down. We'll get to it. And next week's live stream is going to be the same thing. We're going to have a live stream next week, Tuesday, May 14th. We're just going to be chatting. We're going to be hanging out. We got some cool stuff coming y'all's way. But, I want to thank, the Fright Club, the people who've been here for years since the beginning for us. And I distinctly remember, just recently in the Discord channel, somebody posted our first Halloween Horror Nights video that we've ever posted. They posted on there just kind of showing a little bit of it. And it's kind of crazy that I think, when was that? Was that 2020? I think that was like 2020, right? That was sometime in 2020 when we said, we want to do Halloween Horror Nights content. And funny enough, that was the only content that was really getting us any traction within YouTube. And we're like, sweet, because that's what me personally, that's what I really wanted to focus on, was HHN content. And it's just kind of crazy to look back at and see that first video was done in Aventura. We were staying at Aventura at Universal Orlando Resort. and we were in the bed.
Oh yeah, that's
Remember,
right.
we were on the bed. We were sitting on the bed and stuff. And I personally, guys, I thought this was the coolest thing ever because I'm like, man, I'm staying at a Universal Resort hotel. Like, look at me. Look at this. We got a nice view behind us. There's the park. Look at the floor to ceiling windows. Look at these little lights that stick out of the bed. I can have one pointed on me. And it was like overexposed. It was like maybe 480p. I don't know what the quality was. Audio was eh. I don't think there was really any B-roll or edits, and it was just like cut. And we're just sitting there just talking. What were we even talking about? Was it of a speculation map?
I don't know.
I gotta look back at exactly what that conversation was. But it's just kind of crazy to look back at it, from what it was to what it is now. And as I see on the screen, Artemis, somebody who's been here for a long time. Artemis with the 1999. This is the only official Halloween Horror Nights dolphin that does exist out there in the world. Happy birthday. Many happy returns. May 2024 be awesome. Which is kind of funny because it is May. So May 2024 be awesome, which it has been. And May 2024, which this month will be awesome for you guys. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so just taking a look back at it and stuff. And here's another thing too. I know I'm kind of going on. So if I'm going on too long, please stop me. But looking back at it, I don't think people knew this because I mentioned it in our Discord and our Fright Club members. I was talking with them about it. We started when we were here in Orlando in a camper. I used to live in a camper, had a nice fifth wheel hooked up somewhere here in Orlando. I won't tell you exactly where. And Steph and I, we used to love being there and stuff. And this was before the whole 2020 situation. And filming in that was difficult. There was no space. And we were talking about, what if we do this to set up a studio and I could cut this down and build this and all that kind of stuff. And, flash forward, here we are in our own house and, like a quarter of it's all camera equipment and just junk everywhere for this. So it's just kind of a cool look back at just kind of where we started, where we came and where we're at now. Just to see that we have over 150 people watching us right now that have nothing better than do. So I guess we have
every week.
Yeah, and we have nothing better to do than sit here and talk to you guys too. So
that's true.
Huge thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm excited to be here and I'm excited for what the future holds for all of us. So with that very short 2-minute conversation that I had to just get off my chest, should we get in to what this is all about?
I would say yes. But first, Shanna, it was her who shared it, correct?
I think so. Yes, I think that was Shanna. Yeah.
She shared I shared the video on Discord. Y'all have come a long way. It was a spec map video, so yeah, you were correct.
Yeah, so Shanna, Fright Club member for 11 months. She's been here way longer, way longer. We just started the Fright Club membership on YouTube around that time. But yeah, she said I shared that video in the Discord and y'all have come a long way. It was a spec map video, which is kind of crazy because tonight's live stream, here we are live in the studio Fright Club talking about speculation and spec map. So it's kind of cool. It's just something I thought of earlier today that was just kind of unique. And I was like, coming up to an anniversary, coming up to everything's just kind of coming in full circle, guys. It's coming in full circle. Things are finally working. All right. We're getting our, listen, I think it was Fred. Yeah. Fred, you're here too. I see you. Fred's here. He's talking about, the drop, the low frames and all that stuff. We finally got it worked out, right? And we've been doing this for how many years? We're finally figuring stuff out. We're not tech people at all. We're making it work.
We've been fighting with that
forever.
It's been a very long time. We've tried so many different things. We finally figured it out.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you guys for sticking through it because even when I looked back at some of our live streams, I was furious and I couldn't stand 20 seconds of it. I couldn't watch 20 seconds. I was like, I don't know how you guys did full live streams. So shout out to you guys. Star for everybody.
I think Matthew asked about the merch shop, and I think that was your announcement, correct?
That's one of them. Yes.
Do you want to go ahead? Or are you saving it?
I mean, I did say earlier I was saving it, but I mean, I could briefly say it.
You can save it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll briefly talk about it. I know some people want to get into the speculation map, like you said we should have. See, hey, quote Stephanie for that. She said we should get along with it, but then she wants to talk about the merch.
I mean, yeah, but real quick.
Okay, so real quick. How about you do it real quick? Because I'll take an hour.
If you haven't seen, we are switching our merch. We are getting kind of a new line in, and what?
A new line, just like a line.
A new line of merchandise
like
in. So we are going to retire most of the current line of merchandise to bring in a new line. So because of that, we are...
I'm gonna try to do this so they can see it. You can keep talking.
So because of that, we are running a sale right now for 20% off the entire store. You can use the code. It's BuyBuy20. And are you at a football game? Anyway, you can use that until 11:59 p.m. tonight.
Eastern time.
Eastern
time. So West Coast people, if you're tuning in and it's past that, sorry.
And then for a week, the store will be down as we kind of get everything switched over and get the new line ready to launch.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
I am over the moon with how excited I am for this new collection that we have coming in. We have multiple collections, right? This is a new launch. This new line that's coming out, and we're planning Tuesday the 14th. For that live stream, that's where we're planning to go live with the store launch. Hold up. Heartburn. We're planning Tuesday the 14th to have that launch go live with all the new merch, the new line. I am super excited for this stuff. This is what we intentionally wanted for the merchandise to be like and the route that it's going to go. The current merch that we have on the store, this is simply just kind of a placeholder in a way. You know, we really want to get the posters up. We had so many people ask about the posters, so we wanted to put them up, and we just wanted to put some merchandise in there, just call it the initiating process of the store. But now that the store, you know, after tonight, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, like Stephanie said, we'll be shutting the store down. So you won't be able to access the store after this Tuesday, May 7th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. You won't be able to access the store because it's going to be temporarily closed, making way for the new collections to be coming in. We have, do we want to say the collection names?
No.
And that's it. No? You don't even want to say the collection names?
You can if you want to. But first, I want to answer Matthew's question about can it be shipped to the UK? I think this new
collection,
the new supplier that we have is able to be shipped to the UK. So
okay, let me add to that. The new supplier we have, they said majority international shipping is approved. Majority. There might be some regions that won't be, but
or
if
where
so,
it'll be a little more expensive.
Yeah, it'll get flagged and we'll get notifications. We'll reach out and have a conversation with the person who's purchasing. But the ones that we currently have, we do have issues with international shipping. It's not the smoothest. Like I said, this was just something we wanted to put up there just for, you know, people who, you know, wanted some merchandise, wanted the posters, but at the same time, it was helping fund us to be able to get some of the stuff that we wanted to produce for the studio and for the live show we have coming out later this year. We just wanted to get some of that stuff because all those proceeds go to helping us out. And I mean, we make only like 35%, I think, of the purchase and stuff because it goes to the, you know, the accounts and the taxes, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so this new supplier that we're talking with and getting things worked out with, they're going to be able to actually ship them out internationally. But the kicker is that they will have a longer shipping time frame. The one we currently have is usually like within 7 to 10 days, depending. The current one or the new one that we're going to go to might take an average between 10 to 15 days, depending on which choices that you pick. So it will be a longer shipping time frame. But the merch is so cool. And we get them in tomorrow.
Our samples.
Personally,
so
we get our samples in tomorrow. I'm stoked. It did get delayed. It was supposed to be here last week. And we were going to show y'all, but you can't control everything.
Anyway.
There you go. So use discount code BuyBuy20 at the frightclubshop.com. Check it out if you guys want to see our current merchandise. Majority, not all, but majority of that stuff will be going away forever. So if you guys want something, now's the time to check it out. If not, just save your money and wait for the next launch next Tuesday.
The posters will not be going away right now, but this is the only time you'll be able to get 20% off on them. So
that's true. That is true.
Because that discount obviously won't be applied.
Yes.
After tonight.
Also, thank you again for everybody saying happy birthday. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm dropping the link for it in the chat.
Sweet, yeah, and
it's also in the description.
Yeah, if you check the description for this live stream, you'll see the link down there. Okay, anyways, y'all want to get into the goodies?
Yes.
Okay, you ready? Drum roll, everybody. I'm kidding. Don't drum roll. I won't hear it. I can hear it. Oh, I thought it was Hanto. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the speculation map, boom, presented by Horror Nights Nightmares, right here in front of y'all. And I know what some people are saying, but Brian, wait a minute, that's the first speculation map. Oh, it is. Yes. Why? Because we need to talk about it. You can't just talk about version 2 without talking about version 1. And if you're wondering, Brian, where is the second speculation map? Well, there it is, bro. Look at that. It's right there. Wait, do you want the first one back? Boom. What about the second one? Boom. Look at that magic. All right, so the first speculation map, bring it up on the screen for you guys to check out right now. This is what we currently had. I was going to say the beginning of the year. I mean, this wasn't that long ago. But this is what the first predictions was kind of going. This was the first route, right? And starting right above my head, we have, Soundstage 23, the first house you'll kind of come across. And we're going to kind of go around the speculation map in a clockwise formation. This is just kind of what, what everybody's kind of thinking of. You had a Latin America themed house. So, we're looking at Latin American culture. We had Chupacabra in the past. Hollywood had Monstros last year. Some of the speculations, and this will kind of lead into the version 2, could also be an Oddfellow themed Amazon River, whatever kind of house you want to talk about, that region. I know the conversations have been around that. If you go above that, we also have some of these will have these little film reels that you'll see next to them. That just means they're speculated to be an IP, a property that Universal doesn't own, or at least there's some contracts that have to be done for those houses to come to fruition, I guess.
It's not an original idea. It's already an intellectual property.
Yes, which I think most of you guys do know that. But that one, you got a skull with some fangs. A lot of people thinking around the vampire type of world and all that stuff. Could it have been a Dracula themed house? Could we have gotten Abigail in a way? There's a couple talks around that. Then above that, you got a Cadillac symbol. I think you guys know what that one is. That one's been talked about since the beginning. I know some other people were even talking about Nightmare on Elm Street that could resemble, Freddy when he was the Cadillac or whatever. And then you got the skull, black and white skull. We're kind of talking about a Boris Schuster tribute to terror kind of themed house there from last year's tribute store, which who here in the chat, I want to know, guys, in the chat, who here in the chat got to experience last year's tribute store? Did anybody not get the chance to see last year's tribute store? Because that was kind of awesome. That was one of my favorite ones. Yeah, that's what I thought. You thought about getting up.
But yeah, last year's tribute store was awesome. I loved that it was all centered around comics, but each one was kind of a different genre or time period, I guess.
Yeah, the whole theming to it, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously with the black and white skull, people were assuming or speculating that it would be the Boris Schuster room that was all in black and white, which was really cool. That was probably one of the coolest parts of the tribute store.
It was incredible
with the rain on the floor and everything. It was vibes. Really cool. Yeah.
The team there, the team there really knocked it out. Even the first room, in the last room, I don't really think there was a part of last year's tribute store where I was like, eh. I think just every bit of it was incredible. I could go and spend 2 hours in that live store, in the live store. I could spend 2 hours in that tribute store on any given day just to read everything, look at all the detail, just kind of hang out. The vibes there were awesome. It would have been cool if they had a little chair for me to sit down. It's just here, Brian's 2-hour chair. That'd have been neat. But yeah. So that's kind of, people were talking about, could that potentially be it? I hope so. I really like the idea for that. I feel like there's such a fan base out there for Boris Schuster, for Case Files, back in HHN 30, which Steph and I personally, we loved. We loved that house. Case Files was one of our favorite houses from that year to be able to go to constantly because it didn't have much of a wait, but it was the best. Well, you had Wicked Growth and you had Icons Captured. You had Hill House. Should we do a conversation about how Halloween Horror Nights 30 was actually such a great year?
I feel like we didn't appreciate it enough.
Well, there was a lot of restrictions
Yeah,
with that
that's
year.
true.
But it's imagine the potential. I think HHN 30 is one of those years where it's like it was good in it, but you knew there was restrictions where you're like, ah, dang. But the longer time, I guess the longer the gap
We get away
becomes,
from it. Yeah.
you start realizing how much more it's just like it wasn't a good year. It was a great year. Like how great that was. Then like 31 was kind of like that for me too, where it's like after 31, I'm like, okay, cool. But then like the longer it's been from 31, I'm like, I kind of miss some of the vibes, like the scare zones especially. And then last year's Horror Nights, I'm like, I'm
Maybe
ready for
it's
this next
just,
one.
yeah, maybe we just have to wait a few years.
Yeah,
and
we'll
then
see. We'll see. But anyways, getting back to
Oh yeah, puppet theater.
what we were talking about. Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, I don't want to get too off topic today. I know we kind of already been off topic, but like, if you want to talk about Halloween Horror Nights 30, we can talk about Halloween Horror Nights 30. We can really dive into
That was
that.
a good year.
That was a great year. But anyways, back to not version 2, but version 1 of the spec map. Continuing from the skull, we got this lollipop. Everybody's thinking it's gonna be Major Sweets, and I'm just like, y'all, like, okay, maybe it is. All right.
I think it changed the color too.
No, it's the same. It's the same color. I just think you changed your color. Got scared.
That did scare me.
Anyways, it's not gonna be Major Sweets. It's not. Like, I'll tell you right now. I don't know why everybody keeps thinking it's gonna be the unknown from Willy Wonka. That's I don't know
The
why
Willy
it's not
Wonka
as clear. Yeah,
experience.
yeah. The Willy Wonka experience
That,
that
the
they
thing
did.
that was like the unknown that came out of. That is wild. It's just gonna be the whole house is made by AI. Because that's what happened with the Willy Wonka thing. You know that, right?
No.
The issue.
Are we gonna get into this conversation
The
now?
issue-
Hold up. Is this tangent live stream? Is that what we're doing?
So the guy who made the Willy Wonka thing, he has like books. He has published books that are all written by like ChatGPT. And then he made this whole experience. Basically, like the script for the little show was like all AI. All the posters were all AI. Like everything was made by AI. And he was just like, yep, there you go. And that's why it was so bad.
Legend. What a legend. As I hear myself chewing an ice cube.
So the house
So the house is just gonna be that.
made by AI. It would be so bad.
Yeah, that's. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyways, moving away from the Lollipop Gang from Wizard of Oz, we get to an unknown IP in Fast and Furious. Moving along, we're not going to spend too much time because I want to get to version 2. We have this no sound symbol. Obviously, it's another IP. A lot of people thinking, could it be Quiet Place? Could it be
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs as well? So those are kind of the things that a lot of people are talking about. And I know a lot of conversation at that time after this, a lot of people were going towards Hannibal and Silence of the Lambs and leading that. And then we'll get into the next spec map. But then the next one we have is Unknown Original. There you go. And then we got this Minotaur with 2 arrows sticking out of the head. And then you get to the last but not least, Sprung Tent 4 IP that everyone thought was Nightmare on Elm Street. Or the PJ Masks. If you guys know, you know, it always starts with the night sky and it comes down.
Oh my god.
Could be Batman. But let's go to, boom, version 2. Let's bring version 2 up real quick. Not real quick. I mean, we're here to talk. We're here to talk version 2 for a
We
while.
also have an appearance by the one and only Jim Daniels.
The longest holding Fright Club member just appeared for 21 months. You know, honestly, it excites me and it also makes me so angry to see that number. Because I'm like, we've been doing this for that long. It's kind of wild.
It's crazy.
But Jim Daniels just jumping in the chat. Just no message attached. Just 21 months like that. Fright Club
Hey, I'm
legend.
here.
Then throws a $50 bomb. Just
With no message.
message attached. Just nothing. And then right behind him, Pilfer, who's also a member for the Fright Club Legends for 21 months.
Dang.
Jumping in. Which one is the biddle? The biddle. With hey, Brian, which one's the Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
Which one's Beetlejuice? Which one is the Beetlejuice sequel house? Oh, I mean, let me get to the map first. That's a good question. You know, I haven't really heard of Beetlejuice.
No.
I haven't heard of it. I know that was something we put on our speculation kind of radar earlier this year.
Yeah.
But just kind of going in that same order, we have, you know, the Latin America house, you know, something in South America. They put trees. A lot of people are, you know, hounding me saying, Brian, it's got to be Oddfellow on the Amazon. And I'm like, sure, maybe. If that's what it is, cool.
I feel like my personal opinion is that they just added the little trees to make it different than Hollywood's. Because Hollywood's has a different little symbol on their South America. So I think it's just like making them different. I don't necessarily know that we need to like look. I mean, I guess it's part of the symbol.
I don't know.
Maybe it is the Amazon.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
It's a piranha house.
Listen, I haven't looked for 1 second at the Hollywood speculation map.
Piranha 3D.
Why does it sound familiar?
Because it's a movie. Isn't it?
Yeah, right. Piranha 3D. Is that what it is? Are you confirming right now?
I am.
Stephanie
confirmed.
Smith, are you confirming Piranha 3D to Halloween Horror Nights 2024?
Confirmed.
See, I knew you knew. I knew you knew what went into the creations of the spec map.
Wait, it's not an IP house though.
It's a speculation map. It doesn't matter. It could be anything. Nobody knows except for Stephanie. And she just said it's Piranha 3D. Next is Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
Do you see
oh
the
my
theme
God,
here?
what if we had a year that was all like movies like that, like Tremors?
Or like, what was Lake Placid,
Yeah.
right? Anaconda.
Yeah.
And
But
then
they're basically all like monster.
yeah, like sci-fi.
Like creature.
Like sci-fi. Like the Sci-Fi Channel.
But it's all those late 90s, early 2000s, like kind of bad.
One of the
but
worst
good.
CGIs you could see possible. Like that kind of stuff. Also, this guy, you know, you kind of feel bad for this guy. He wanted to jump in. Everybody, Chris does things. Fright Club member for 21 months. Hey, he just nightmare fuel. That's it. That's the post. End quote. Chris does things. Everybody, can everybody just give a round of applause for Chris does things in the chat? Just. Ando, stop licking yourself. All right, so moving on from Piranha 3D in Latin America, we got. I don't know about you, but.
Did you change it?
Change what?
Oh, yeah, you did. Just kidding. The map. To the new one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I already answered that. So the next one.
Do you want to continue? Since you got it. Also, I just ran. You know, since people are saying that we just tangent. I have vampire blood. I have a whole canister of blood sitting here. How much would the chat have to donate right now for me to pour this entire thing all over you?
Enough to replace this
minimum.
and clean the carpet.
Yes, we're already at 5,000, but I need a minimum number.
5,000.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. I was thinking like $500 I'd do it
No,
to myself.
that wouldn't cover it. All right, let's move on.
All right, vampire blood. You just got to make sure you have it just in case.
Where did you get that?
I've had this for years.
No, like, was it on the...
I had it on the shelf right here next to the knife that you also have to have just in case.
Okay.
You know, real quick, we're chilling, man. We're chilling. We are so chilling right now. I was doing a huge cleanup in the studio. Right, we had a whole bunch of boxes, new stuff that we're getting in, moving some stuff around. And I was going through the studio, and I think some of our members on Discord, if you guys remember, I was showing some pictures of some things that we just have, things that we own. And I'm trying to see if I can show some right now. I think most of that is in the other room. Excuse me, but like we just had like some of our old like scare actor patches and just some old like memorabilia and stuff from Horror Nights and stuff. Maybe we do a live stream where we just pull all that out and just kind of do a show and tell like they did back in preschool.
I have an idea.
Oh, what?
What if we did a live stream where we talk about the spec map?
That's what we're doing right now, which is kind of cool. So moving on to the next one, Soundstage 22 is this cool like earring, you know, just kind of hanging there from the ear and somebody's hair's on top. That is the female gender symbol with the Bride of Frankenstein hair on top of it. IP, obviously, it's the Bride of Frankenstein hair. This has got to be Classic Monsters related.
Can I just say that I think this symbol like looks weird?
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't know. It looks like, I don't know. I really don't know. You want to know what I actually think of?
What?
This is the first thing. Everybody, it's the female gender symbol, right, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what my first thought of what it was when I saw it?
What?
Everybody look at the symbol real quick. Everyone look at the symbol. I thought it was a stick figure.
That's what I thought.
I was looking at
That's
this.
what that's what I'm saying. Like it looks weird. Like it looks like a little like stick.
Okay, are we
figure.
getting stick figure Classic Monsters? Is that what this is? Okay, chat. I need to know. I need to know. Please spam in the chat if you guys would love to see stick figure Universal Classic Monsters come to HHN.
How upset do you think everybody would be if we did this whole stream where we're going through the spec map, but we're just like BSing like all of them? Like we're not giving like actual speculation. We're just like Piranha 3D, stick figure, Classic Monsters.
I mean,
everybody in the chat is like,
what did you guys, hold on. What did you guys expect? Did you want me to just tell you everything that's coming to the event? Like
everybody in the chat is like, I think it's Silver Scream Queens. I heard Victoria Frankenstein, and we're like, stick figures.
Classic Monsters, baby. I don't know,
funny.
but y'all's seems very weak compared to what ours is. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
it kind of looks like a ring pop.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? Oh
Anyway.
my gosh, yeah, now I'm looking at it more.
Anyway,
It's a hairy ring pop.
regardless of what it is, if it's Classic Monsters, we know the Classic Monsters houses kill it every single year.
Cool.
Literally. They're
Lack of sleep catching up to me.
continuously one of our favorites every single year. So
Yeah.
we know it's going to be good regardless of what it is.
The amount of quality and detail that they put into Classic Monster houses, the Universal Classic Monster houses, has always been in the top 3 every single year. Always. 2019, you guys know I'm biased. The Classic Monster house, that was really like not just where the love for HHN started, but where the deep love for Halloween Horror Nights came for me. Was that 2019 Classic Monsters house. And having that opportunity. And I mean, you know, you go into HHN 30 and we had Bride of Frankenstein Lives, which not my favorite, but you can't argue with the amount of detail that went into the house. Beautiful, beautiful house. Loved it. And then you go to HHN 31, we had Legends Collide, which, oh, gosh, again, the scale, the energy, the classic monster houses, they always have this unique energy. It's what I call, this is gonna be so weird, but it's old energy, and old energy never dies off in my mind. And that's kind of how the classic monsters are, where it's like it has worked for years and it will always work no matter how they do it. It will always work. The cast, every time, you know, they're put into this house, I feel like there's a little bit of honor to be had.
Pride.
And pride for being a classic monster and representing what made Universal and what got horror its own genre and stuff. There's a little bit of that like honor and pride that goes with that makes that house so energetic and just so well organized. And especially for the creative minds that work on these houses, you know, there's so much involved in it, passion that goes into the creations for these. And then last year we had, you know, Classic Monsters Unmasked, which again was another fun, high energy house. So whatever this will be, no matter what, Classic Monsters wise, it looks like, you know, we're getting the battle of the females. and stuff with, you know, the Bride of Frankenstein hair and all that, stick figure wise. And no matter what it's going to be, I'm excited. I'm looking for this. This will always, Classic Monsters will probably always be in the top 3 most anticipated for me when it comes to HHN houses. Mm-hmm. What are you smiling about? Who said something?
Chris.
What? Don't give him the stage.
You asked.
Let me read. I don't read this. Let me see.
Someone did ask what our ranking of the Classic Monsters houses have been. And we've done this. Like, we've ranked them amongst ourselves before. And I think...
We're doing that public now?
I think 2019 is always going to be number 1. Like...
For you, yeah. I mean, for me, it's 2019 is my number 1.
Yeah. We're biased, so 2019 is our number 1.
I mean, it's... Come on. Like... Come on, like
we're biased.
But here's the thing: who's experienced the Classic Monster houses since 2019? Like, 2019 was by the Parade Building. You had that mural that was on the Parade Building in B108. You had that mural up there, and they had the projection and the music and the rain and the howls of the wolves that you could hear in the background. And then you go in the house, and it's raining, and you had the statues of all the classic monsters, but there was one statue missing, and it was Wolfman. But it was the first scare of the house when you come up. It's the werewolf. It's the Wolfman scaring you, but he's the statue. He's the statue figure. The whole story behind it. And you had Talbot there. You had them all. Joe Bro. Shout out to Joe Bro. And you know, you go from that, and you go into, I think it was the Hunchback scene.
He's gonna go through the whole house.
Oh my God! It's just, I won't go through the whole house. I'll slow down, but. Every monster just had their moment, their scene. And it's one of those, if you guys have been following us for some time, Steph and I, we love like anthology series types of houses. That 2019 house was very much like an anthology style house. Every scene, every room was unique and different based on the classic monster that you're coming across. Mm-hmm. So I just loved it. I thought the vibes were cool. The energy was great.
So 2019.
Beautiful.
Then Legends.
2021 or 2022, excuse me.
Unmasked.
Yes.
And then Bride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
That's our ranking.
I don't need to give you guys details for the others, unless you want. We'll be here for another 30 minutes for that.
I was going to say, let's keep going.
Let's keep going. I was going to say, because if not, I mean, I could easily just kind of switch over here if you guys want us on the big screen, just kind of see us. In case everyone's like, where are they? They're in the corner. You just have to adjust your TV settings to make sure it's full screen. And all right, we'll go back to the map. Cool. So anyways, moving on, we have, guess what, the same symbol. It's gonna be a car house. After that, you know, everyone's saying it's Ghostbusters, and some people are saying it's Nightmare on Elm Street. Other than that, I can't think of anything else.
I don't know. Those are the only that I can.
That's all that people have been talking about since the beginning. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
My only thing is, I hope. See, I'm like stuck. I don't know if it is Ghostbusters.
Hold up. I'm about to have a major sneeze. Oh, I forgot to mute the dang thing, so you heard me sneeze anyways. That didn't help.
That was.
I forgot to mute the mic. Why?
I was like, I saw a TikTok the other day. This girl was taking a video to send to her boyfriend, and she was using this new like kitchen gadget that she had that was basically a strainer, but she strained it, like catches all the like juice or whatever, like to strain something out. But she like strained, it was like a can of beans, but she strained the can of beans into the pot and then just ended up pouring the whole thing into the pot anyway. It was funny. That kind of reminded me of that.
Oh, okay.
Because you like muted it, but just turned the visuals off.
But yeah.
Anyway.
Cool.
I think that, you know, if it is Ghostbusters, I'm stuck between wanting like the original Ghostbusters and the like newer ones, or like the whatever they call them, legacy sequels, because like I liked the last movie. I wasn't the biggest fan of this newer one. What was it called?
Exactly. Frozen Empire.
Afterlife was that
was the first one.
legacy sequel. And I liked that one.
Yeah.
Frozen Empire, not the biggest fan. So if it's on Afterlife, I think I'm fine with that. Even if it is.
Here's what I would say. If it is Frozen Empire, right? And this is kind of what I thought about with the movie. I liked the movie because it was just fun. Like, I did not go in thinking too hard about it, too crazy. I just, all right, let's just watch Ghostbusters. Cool. I like seeing that they're continuing it. And I love the fact that Universal themselves, you know, they're having Ghostbusters come back to the parks in a big way, which is really unique because that's what, you know, is popular with Universal. The thing is, when it comes to the house, if they were to do Frozen Empire, it's like I would want them to see, or I would want to see them do the house in a way where it shows things that we didn't see in the film that we should have saw in the film. So like the main antagonist, whoever that creature was, whatever they said he was, I would like to see him more. I'd like to see more scenes with him. I'd like to see more action with that.
Yeah, he was
that was just
he's like, hey,
anticlimactic.
I'm here, I'm gonna kill you all. Oh no.
Yeah, and they were saying he's just this big, great evil, this ultimate power that they had ancient magic to fight, and it was just like
I think they spent way too much time in the movie, like introducing all these characters and all these storylines that they literally didn't have like enough time for the actual antagonist to be on screen for more than like 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just felt like, no, I wasn't a fan. So if they do Afterlife, I think I'm fine with that. But I would rather have like the originals. However, we already got an original house not too long
2019.
ago.
Again,
which
one
I
of the
did
greatest
like,
years.
but I don't necessarily want to see it just like rehashed.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to see what way they go with this. But I know, you know, Ghostbusters is coming back to the parks in such a big way with the parade and the shows and all that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised to see it at the event again. I don't know if they would do it because we just had it.
Right.
I don't know. Oh, we gotta wait to see, you know, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go back to the spec map. Going up to the next symbol. Guess what? This was also in version 1. You guys look to the right side of the map. Boom, there it is. And guess what? Left side, right side, left side, right side, left side. It's literally the same thing. It's just on a different side. They're expecting it to be in a soundstage, then a tent. Everybody's still up in arms between, I keep forgetting the name, Silence of the Lambs and A Quiet Place. I still see a lot of people talking back and forth on this. And
I don't like either.
I don't know. Even some people said Silent Hill. I know people were talking about Silent Hill too.
I'm just not really excited about either of those options. I love Silence of the Lambs. Like, I think it's an amazing movie. It's not, I don't think it would make a good house. It's much more of a psychological, I wouldn't even call it a thriller. It's more like a psychological drama. I wouldn't consider it necessarily a horror, and I don't think it would be a good house. But I also kind of feel the same way about Quiet Place. It has monsters, so I think the monsters could be cool if they did like the monster design really well and made them like really scary. If they did day 1, that could be cool too, because we know that it has like more sound. Whereas like, I don't know how they would necessarily approach A Quiet Place like as a house without the sound in the house. Like,
yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Not to like kind of get away from your conversation with A Quiet Place and stuff, but I want to talk about something that I haven't seen anybody really talk about.
What's that?
So, I want to say this too. I know we're coming up at what, 50, we're at 55 minutes right now on the live. You got over 180 people watching. Shout out to all of you guys, wherever you're watching from. Place it down in the chat. I want to see where you guys are watching from, and then I won't look at the chat to see where you're watching from. But we still have a lot to talk about. We got more of the symbols to get into. We got more speculation to get into. We still have some announcements that I want to talk about. And we might do something special too later in this live stream. And we still have that rapid fire Q&A session. I haven't seen anybody talk about this symbol, the one that we're talking about currently, the top left corner, soundstage 24A, the mute symbol. Everybody's taking this symbol so literal. oh, it's A Quiet Place. Oh, it's Silence of the Lambs. Oh, it's Silent Hill. Because they're like, oh, silent. What if it's not just like a house that's based off, oh, you have to be quiet, but more so, they're specifically wanting this project to be hush, where it's like it is something completely different. It could be anything. It could be ET, but this project is hush hush. It
Kind of
is
like the
behind closed doors. Nobody knows about it. NDA'd all this big stuff.
kind of like how the spec map last year for Stranger Things was like top secret.
Yeah, it said top secret. It's like, what if this symbol is in relation to that, where this is like, this is that hush hush house. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody hears about it. The community's not talking about it. So they put it out there saying, like, there's the verbal signal, right? There's sound, but then there's that cross out saying there's no sound, which means there's no sound about this property or this thing people are talking about. Haven't seen anyone talk about it yet. So I want to put that out there for you guys to look into and think about, especially if you look back at past speculation maps and stuff. There's usually 1 or 2 properties in the past 5 years that will go along that lines, that plays in the part of no one's talking about it and we're using those symbols to cover it.
I also like Sandy Ben's idea. In space, no one can hear you scream. Alien. We are getting a new Alien movie.
And I know Disney owns Alien. I know you're going to have those people come out and say, but Disney owns Alien. I know, but do you guys know the situation with Disney and Universal right now?
How Universal's buying some of...
Disney's selling some of their properties and stuff. And Disney's been buying some stuff, and Universal's been buying, and Universal's been selling. There's been a lot going on. There's a lot of contracts out in the air, ladies and gentlemen. And I've said it, I think 2 years ago, I think I said something where Universal needs to buy the rights and contracts to Alien and the franchise of Alien. I would love to see Alien come back and make a return. So just think about that. Yeah, see, Justin said this. Disney needs money. Mm-hmm. They do. So they're selling this off. They're looking for ways to make it. And selling rights to a property like Alien is very easy for Disney to do. It's not something that brings them much money because it's only for the media. They don't put it in their parks or the merchandise, really. You know, it's more of a media thing. They can sell this property if they wanted to in a way, and Universal could pick it up and then potentially use that to their advantage with films
An
and
Alien
a
house would be so
and even in the parks.
cool.
So just something to think about.
An Alien house would be so cool. Picture like that section.
I picture it. I mean,
that section of the Great Movie Ride,
exactly.
but as a house,
yep.
Scary.
Warning.
Yeah.
This area is off. I don't know what the actual saying is, but
so scary.
Should I look at YouTube and pull an old clip of it?
I want that.
But yeah, I just want to bring this back up here to us. I genuinely think that it would be incredible for Universal to get the rights to Alien, that franchise. I personally think Universal, I'm not even going to whisper this. I personally think Universal could do so much better with that property in their possession. Excuse me. I think they could just do so much more. And then to think about Universal having that as a Halloween Horror Nights fan, it's like, man, I'd love to see that vibe come back to the event as a house. I'd love to see that vibe. We, earlier this year, at the beginning of this year, Steph and I, we started watching some good classic horror films. Those are the best, you know. We saw Alien, we saw The Thing, you know, like that vibe. I'd love to see that vibe as a house. So yeah, I mean, here's to hoping. So I just want you guys to think. I'm putting it back. Speculation map, the top left corner. I know everyone's talking about some of these properties, but that could be just symbolize kind of symbolizing that no one's talking about it. It's been hush hush. No one's mentioned it, so that's what that could potentially mean.
Maybe.
So think about it like that. Also, South Ridge Films, Fright Club veteran for 11 months, dropped in to say, but if Universal buys Alien, we'll never get a Star Wars versus Alien movie that I dream of. I don't even think Disney will ever think about doing it because they're just not on top of their game.
Would you even want that, Brian?
I mean, yeah, they're technically in Legends, Xenomorphs in a way, Vader does. There's a whole thing to it. Would be cool, but that's why Southridge U exists, so go get it done. There's another big, ambitious project for you to work on. But yeah, so moving on. We're going back to spec map. Moving on to the candy store of Willy Wonka and the Unknown. That hasn't changed. I know if you look back at the other speculation map, same location. It went from a lollipop to just kind of wrapped candy. Yeah, everyone's talking Major Sweets. I'm talking Willy Wonka, the Unknown. Stephanie's talking about
next spec map. I want to see the symbol be the little strawberry candy.
Oh.
You know the strawberries? It's like the hard candy, but it's like.
Yeah. I was just thinking straight up Oompa Loompa.
I love those.
I just want to see an Oompa Loompa on there. Because it still relates to candy. So if it's Major Sweets, it's like, okay, cool.
Still an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, but like it's an Oompa Loompa. And that might be the only time we can get an Oompa Loompa on a speculation map.
It's just a picture of Timothy Chalamet.
Welcome to the Gourmet Gallery. My name is Paul Muldoon Atreides, Duke of the Halloween Horror Nights.
Dune 2 house confirmed.
That'd be cool just to
Fade
see.
Rotha house.
Baron Harkonnen floating. Mbaga. Boongaga. How he says, Mbaga. Mgidogad.
Needs to be a little more throaty. All right.
If you guys are wondering, Steph and I haven't talked to each other all day today, so this is like our first interaction. We've been working, so this is kind of us catching up. And this is what we do when we catch up. What's your best Baron Harkonnen impression?
I'm not gonna even try.
Oh, come on.
No.
I'll do it.
Yeah, just float away.
The spices.
That was pretty good.
Thanks.
Anyway.
Okay. Can you guys get serious, please, and focus? Gosh.
No.
Lock in, chat. Lock in. Come on. We got a job to do.
Okay, what's our next? He's so cute.
Hey, go lay down. Well, I mean, you are laid down, I guess. Never mind. All right. Moving on. We go from version 1 and version 2, unknown IP, to unknown original in this location at the Fast and Furious tent. Guess what? I have some breaking news for you guys. It's unknown. I don't know what it is because it says it's unknown. However, I want to talk about something. Guess what? The 14th tangent and we're getting on in tonight's live stream. So buckle in. I need you to see in the chat. I want you guys to spam in the chat. Get ready to spam in the chat. Do you guys prefer... Are you spamming in the chat too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is this going to be like your answer?
I don't know what you're about to say.
Okay. Well, it makes me scared because you're like... Your hand's on the trigger. I'm like, oh no.
You're like, get ready.
I'm scared. Okay, so I want to know. Ready? Do you guys prefer the old Horror Night Nightmares speculation maps when they were the titles, or do you prefer when they were when they're symbols like this? Spam in the chat 1 if you guys preferred the old way. Spam 2 if you guys like the symbols.
I don't know about me.
1 for title, 2 for symbols.
I don't know about me, but I know for sure that Chris prefers the symbols.
Who? What? Who's that? One's in the chat for face paint video. Get out of here. All right, I want to see in the chat. I want to know, do we like, symbols? That's 2. And do we like the titles, which is 1? When the symbols came out, I was actually like, oh, this is cool because the symbols allow for more speculation in the community, where the titles were a little more direct towards something that made everybody think more directly towards something based on that.
Wait, did you say 1 is?
1 is title, 2 is symbol. And the symbol allows for people to think of multiple things, causing the speculation season to have multiple front runners when it comes up to having a potential for something. I'm all on board for that. However, when these past years have gone by and seen the symbols more and more, I'm realizing how much more I missed the titles because of how unique the titles were. Because they would come up with some of the creations for some of the names and the titles. I'm like, oh, that sounds unique. What was Wicked Groves? Do you remember Wicked Growth?
Pumpkin Original.
Right? It was like Pumpkin Original. I was like, okay, cool. And then it had a title at some point, and then it became known as Wicked Growth. So it's like I liked when we had the titles.
You remember
it's a little more direct,
Puppet Theater was like mannequin original?
Yeah, and it's just like
We were like, it's a house just of mannequins?
right. Oh man, I wish we do have a mannequin downstairs. By the way, just another tangent for y'all. But I want to know. I mean, what is the chat saying? What do we got?
It's very split. It looks like we have a lot of people split, and then it just went off into just chaos where people are saying 3, 1.5, 42, 3, 9, 6.
I'm really trying to be nice today, chat. Like, my faith in y'all just kind of, just a little like 3.4 magnitude earthquake. That's all.
But it does look a little split. I think most people, if I had to pick a front runner, it'd be 1.
How about this? Hey, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll for you guys. I want to know because I was having some conversations with some close people of ours about the speculation map, and it's like the symbols are cool, but because it's like a double-edged sword, like I like them for the purpose of having the community be able to come up with what they think the symbol could be and different properties and things like that. It works especially well when it comes to like the IPs. But then I sit there and think about it, and it's like sometimes it's too all over the place that I really like when it was the titles, and they would come up with creative titles for some of the IPs and the originals and whatever they were going for. That was kind of fun for people to really hone in on and talk about the potential of those things. That's what I felt like. The titles were more of like, okay, you're getting this. What do we think this could be? And as a consensus, we all were like, oh, this is what we think it is. What is the potential of what could we see? Whereas now, instead of what we could see, what the potential is, it's more as like, okay, what property is it actually coming? So you get like 3 different properties that are fighting each other, where the old way was one property we all think it's going to be, but what could we see? Oh, it'd be cool to see this in the house or this scene. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword to me. It'd be really cool to see them mix it up.
But see, I agree, but at the same time, even with the symbols, you still have people across the board, like content creators, that are saying like 100% it's this one house. Like, even if it's just a symbol, you have everybody saying it's this one house. So it would be the same thing as if we just had titles.
Yeah, but it's the same way as I said, hey, Bride of Frankenstein stick figure coming to Halloween Horror Nights.
Nobody's saying that. You're the only one.
No, but that's the point that I'm proving, is that like,
I know.
as a content creator, like, we're not official. We're not universal.
Yeah.
I don't even think Universal is universal right now.
Who is
universal?
I agree with Fungi. I think symbols for the IPs and titles for the originals, because I feel like with the symbols for the IPs, obviously you can say like, oh, maybe it's this, oh, maybe it's that. Whereas like we get symbols for the originals and we're just like, it's a candy house. I don't know.
It's Wonka.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I would like to see them either switch it up every map or split it up in the map. That's personally what I would think.
Yeah.
Just to kind of balance it. I would really love to see them kind of do like version 1 symbol, version 2 is the titles, version 3 maybe has both symbol and titles, and then version 4, if they go up to the version 4, it's like now it's like, oh, we have some announcements. It's more kind of honed in on what they think that is. What does the poll say? What are we thinking? We got symbols or titles?
58% titles.
Okay, so it's a close one. I thought it was going to be close, but it seems like at least the majority in the voting process went with the titles. I think maybe it's because we just missed the titles right now because we've had the symbols.
Yeah, maybe. Cool. I'm going to end it.
End the live stream. Goodbye, everyone. Let's keep moving. Let's keep it rolling.
Nice.
Still got over 170 people watching. Shout out to all of you guys. Glad to have you guys in. If you guys are just joining us, we're talking speculation map version 2 from HN Nightmares. They released it last week. We did do a video on this. We had another video that came out talking about the return of a show, potentially as well. And we're just kind of going around the map. We also discussed some other personal things with you guys in the beginning of the live stream. Make sure you guys check it out. Also, as a reminder, tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time is your last chance to shop on the Fright Club store and get some official Fright Club gear that we are repping. This is the last night to be able to get the current line. This was the initial launch, but next week, Tuesday, we plan to host our next launch for the new line to be coming out. We have a couple collections, and I may talk to you about some of the collections later in tonight's live stream. But there is a discount code going on. Steph just placed it in the chat for you guys to check out. www.frightclubshop.com. Use discount code BUY20 for 20. I almost said 25% for 20% off of your entire order. End of story. Good night.
Cool.
Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna move on, but
was I talking too much for you?
No. When you're ready to move on.
Maybe I want to go to the bathroom. Have you thought of that? Maybe I go to the kitchen and get some of that Australian dark chocolate honeycomb candy. That's so good.
Okay. Anyway.
All right. We're
Also, McBain, member for 8 months, said, "Ignore this. Just basking in the glory of 8 months of membership."
Well, you didn't ignore it.
I didn't ignore it.
And I'm going to bring it up again, too. Hey, McBain, Fright Club legend for 8 months. Part of the Fright Club, the one and only. I'm going to quote what he said out loud publicly to y'all, just like Stephanie did. Ignore this. Just basking in the glory of 8 months of membership. At least you were more polite about it compared to Chris. But thank you, McBain. Fright Club member, 8 months.
Happy
rocking.
to have you. Cool.
Let's move forward.
What I was going to say was I agree with Jay. I think it would help if HHN made a house announcement.
Yes.
I do agree with that.
Absolutely.
That I think, with the speculation maps, like, they're fun, but it does get a little frustrating when we get to a point What are you laughing at?
You keep going. I read. This is why I don't read chat. I'm just okay. Keep that thought. Don't go. I'm not going to take long. Jessica in the views said, "How are you, Brian and Steph?" But I read it as, "How are you, Brian and Steph?" So I was like, "Wait, what?" So I just had this whole X-Files thing going in my mind where I was like, "Wait, what?"
You're not Brian and Steph.
Oh, impastas. All right, continue. Sorry, that's why I don't read chat. Continue.
Anyway, I do agree that like it gets a little frustrating when we have spec maps and then like the whole community like comes to a consensus on like, yes, 100%, this is exactly what's coming and we know it all. And then HHM makes their announcement and it's everything everybody has been saying it's 100% this because they've had to wait so long to announce things that like things get out and then people know exactly what the houses are. And then by the time we get an announcement, everybody's like, yeah, we've been knowing that.
Yeah. I got to be careful here.
You don't have to say anything.
No, I want to say something. I got to be careful because I love Halloween Horror Nights almost more than anything in this entire world. Almost. Hondo's number one. I love this community so much. And the fact that, and I started this live stream off. If you guys were here in the beginning of the live stream, you guys know. If you guys have been following us for years, you guys know us. You know us. And in the beginning of the live stream, I said, how we're coming up to like 4 years of doing this when we first originally started and how like, we started doing Horror Nights things and just to be where we're at right now, like, I'm not going to say it's something I could not have imagined because I imagined it. I was like, oh, how cool would it have been if we got to this and stuff. But the fact that we're actually sitting here and doing this, it's kind of wild. It really is. And I think of this every day, and it's hard for me to, actually come to grips with it. It's like, we do this. Like, this is cool. Like, we have, it's not that we just do this, but we have the opportunity that you guys are giving us and the... Hondo, stop. Please, man. Not in this sentimental conversation. Can't lick. What are you doing? Don't look at me like that.
Apparently, you love him the most.
I know, but now you get second place now. You just lost first place. Reese's just took first place from you again. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I was trying to I was setting the mood, but now I'm kind of like thrown off. But anyways, this community means so much to me, and to us. You know, we talk about it every day, and the reason why we do this is because we love Halloween Horror Nights, and we love, you know, discussing with you guys and doing this. However, I am starting to see and notice how we ourselves, Steph and I, as well as the community, are kind of like the bad guys. You know, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And it's because it's one of those where I want to make sure, like, I love the speculation season. I love the speculation talk. But I also think that we all need to kind of take a step back, just a little step back and slow down. Because I feel like, you know, we hound Halloween Horror Nights for announcements. You know, we hound on Universal. We hound on them to give us something. We want more, which is okay. I think that's fine. You know, we want things. We do. And I think we should hold Universal liable to giving us as much as possible. And I feel like, you know, Universal and Horror Nights themselves want to give us as much as they can possible. It's a little more complicated than just like, oh, here you go. Okay, we'll do this too. It's a little more complicated than that. But I also feel like, you know, we go into this whole dive into trying to figure things out and then hearing leaks and then talking about it and relaying this information where I feel like we need to, like, if there's any leaks, if there's any information that we find out, any insider stuff, like, we try to hold that and make, you know, like, make the announcement season a little more special. It's fun to speculate. It's fun to have these conversations. I see you smiling. I know you're telling me, all right. But
No, I'm not.
okay, so I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you're
okay,
fine.
cool. So I feel like we just need to take a step back because I feel like we are killing the announcement season. You know, there's a speculation season, there's an announcement season. A speculation season goes basically from the end of one event to the beginning of the next one until everything has been announced. But announcement season starts when we get an official announcement, which we're technically in a way. And I just feel like that excitement kind of goes away when we're like, oh, this is it. This has got to be there. There's nothing else. This is it. And then when it's announced, that excitement is not fully there versus when we used to kind of just get an announcement on something. We're like, whoa, oh, that's cool. Did not expect that in a way. And maybe, and here's the thing, right? I've been following Horror Nights for years, but I know for a fact that there are people in the chat, there's people in the HHN community that's been around far longer than I have been and been bigger fans than I have been for Halloween Horror Nights. They know past years. They knew how this was and how this worked and stuff. And so, like, I'd love to have a conversation with you guys, whoever you guys are, if you guys are one of those people. I'd love to have a conversation, be like, what was it like? I'd love to know what was it like? What was the vibes? Are we kind of shifting? Is it always been like this? Because me personally, it feels like a lot of people seek to be the ones who, like, oh, I called it. Oh, I knew. Where it's like, it's cool. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, this is like a community, period. This is a community. And I want people to keep others in mind and try to make it special for other people. And I feel like, you know, at me personally, I feel like it's my responsibility as a content creator for Halloween Horror Nights, not for Halloween Horror Nights, but in the community of Halloween Horror Nights. It's my responsibility to try to make these seasons special for you guys and give you guys content that's fun and it's engaging. You know, we can have the deep conversations about speculations, what we think it could be, but also just have a casual conversation and chat about just why Horror Nights is so special to us. I mean, that's why we're here in the first place. It's not to be, oh, I know this is what this is. We called it, and Horror Nights announces, and we're like, we knew it, we called it, we said it. It's more of so just like to get together and be excited for something that they're putting together that we love.
Yeah, it's like, congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah. As Hondo gets angry in the background.
I do think that.
I don't know. Is that a hot take, by the way?
Maybe.
I need to know.
I know that, like, just the corporate world in general has gotten a lot more legal.
Yeah.
Like, everything has to be, you know, approved and scrubbed over a million times. So I'm sure that is having an impact on.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Just with social media, everything is so much more global. Also with, you know, just the rise of being more aware of people's, you know, preferences and what.
I hate interrupting you because I know,
It happens every time. I'm used to it.
but I do. I just want you to know I hate it. I just realized there's somebody in the chat named Chilling Under Vecna.
Yeah, isn't that? I'm gonna forget the name.
That's Steve Harrington.
No,
But it's but they said I love watching you guys joke around the most. LOL. Like that's cool. I like that.
that's under Vecna. You
Yeah.
changed your name, so I can't remember.
Anyways, I just saw that and I was like, Chilling Under Vecna. Okay, keep going.
Mark?
Though. Come on, you got a good story going.
Anyway,
I want to hear it.
so what was I saying? Oh, I definitely think that, announcing things, getting things approved is probably taking longer than it used to in the past. That's just like how things are nowadays in general. So I think that's probably why announcements are getting a little delayed. And I will give Universal that. But I do also agree that it would make speculation season easier to not have those leaks if they were to announce sooner. The longer that information is just kind of like stewing around in the background and like getting passed around by people who might hear something from somebody who heard something from somebody, the longer we have to play that game of telephone, the more likely there's going to be leaks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I think it's on both sides. Like if you hear somebody tell you, my cousin works for Universal and they said this house is
like that,
they're working on this house.
like that one post that's kind of going around saying like, oh, I have a friend on the inside. Like, and
you
it could
don't
be
need to share it.
It could be fake. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be. And there are people who seek clout and stuff. It happens,
Yeah.
right? I've been there before in the past. I will admit, right? I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect.
But
and
some
stuff.
people also like maybe we're the only people that, get kind of frustrated by knowing what everything is before the announcements come out. Maybe some people like that.
Yeah, and I mean, there are people who like that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think like, if you got something like that, hold on to it because at least, and this is me speaking. And like I said, it might be a hot take, and if it is, let me know. Like, please put in the chat. You guys know how we are. We allow, and some of our Fright Club members, they'll speak for this in our Discord and stuff. You guys are allowed to hound us. Go ahead. Freedom of speech, baby. Go ahead. Say what you got to say. I don't care. We have tough skin, we have thick skin. But here's the thing. I'm forgetting what I was going to say. But okay. I got it. I look at Halloween Horror Nights, and it is my responsibility as a content creator to create content and have the conversation about Halloween Horror Nights year round. And I have to think of an event that lasts 2 months long, and I have to make that 10 plus months, right? And create content for that. And it is one of the biggest blessings that I have. It really is. I love doing what I do. But at most, compared to that, I am a fan of Halloween Horror Nights. That is my number one thing, and that's something that I tell everybody all the time. And people that's a part of the team, they know that. Fright Club members, you guys know that I am a fan of Halloween Horror Nights. That's what comes first. And I will always think of like, what do I like as a fan, and what will other fans of Halloween Horror Nights like? What will the community like? That is always my number one thought. And I remember specifically loving when Horror Nights would make an announcement. And like, we had the spec maps. I remember the spec maps. I never dove into spec maps much. But when we had an announcement, I remember like the conversations of people talking about like, oh, like the announcement itself, and like just finding out about it for the first time when Horror Nights made that announcement. I just felt like the conversations were more pure. They were more fun. It was more special. And it just had the right hype and excitement that led up to the event. And that is something that I've always wanted for us, Stephanie, right here sitting next to me. That's what I've always wanted for us to do when we were creating this channel and making content is I want to create content that excites people for the event, and it's a voice for the community and for Halloween Horror Nights to bridge that gap between the two, to just have this nice area where everybody can come together and be full of excitement, full of joy, talk about things they love from the past and things that they hope for the future. But I do feel like, we're getting a little too ahead of ourselves when it comes to the spec season in a way where I do think we need to just kind of take a step back and, just we can conversate, talk things here. We can still speculate and all that kind of stuff and, things like that. But where the true specialty of it all comes from is when those announcements come and when they're special and they're a surprise to us and they're a shock, and you know, we can have all these conversations like, whoa, like holy smokes, this is happening. We're gonna be able to see it. This is incredible. This is exciting. That's my personal take. And I also will say, like, as like a content creator, I personally, here's a personal thing, right? I hate the term content creator. I really don't like it. I prefer if, you know, the content creators in the Horror Nights community, if we like focus more on the creativity part versus than just the content. Like, how creative can we be? Breaking stuff. Is it okay? Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
It's like, how creative can we be when it comes to making our content? What's the creative things that we can show, you know? Like, what is something nobody's done that we can do and stuff? And it still stays true to the community and the speculation season, the announcement season, without just kind of blatantly throwing things out. That's just me.
Cool.
I don't know. What do you guys, chat, what do you think? I need to know. Like, am I being too much here? Like, I need to know. I want to know.
I think part of it too is like we were not, I mean, I know the landscape of like the community has changed since we started making videos and stuff. You know, the HHN like speculation, the online community has grown so much since we started making videos, but we were not doing this whole like speculating on what houses were coming before we started making content. We, you know, the year before we started making content, we were working as scare actors. Yeah. And I think part of that is like, we used to get excited just getting announcements. We were not, you know, speculating on what was coming. We would just, you know, see the announcements and be like, oh, that's awesome. And now that we're so like entwined in this community, you know, we don't get that anymore. And that to an extent is kind of sad, because we're like, we basically like know what everybody thinks all the houses are going to be before they're announced. And then they're announced and we're like, yay.
Yeah. I want to touch on this point real quick. I saw this in the chat, and then I want to jump back onto your point there. And I just want to, I know we're actually dropping in views right now. People are like, oh no, we lost them. We gotta go. We gotta get out of here. To everybody that's still watching, thank you, by the way. I know we're kind of going on rants and tangents. We will get back to the spec map and we will continue the conversation. But Brennan TV wrote this saying, it's hard to put out content based around HHN because they hold on to info for so long. The only content you can do is spec maps until they finally give us an announcement. I understand what you're saying, and it's like, yes, there is truth to that. However, I really wish, and this, Stephanie can vouch for me here, we have a document and I have a book of ideas and things written that will literally take place all of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Then it's Horror Nights, September, October. Then I have stuff for November and part of December, because I would like to have 2 weeks off around Christmas, celebrate with the family. But we have ideas that would last for the next, I think it's like 5 to 6 years right now of HHN content that we haven't done, that we want to do, that we could do, series, returning series, new series, all things like that. And we're not the only ones. I'm going to also speak for other content creators. I'm sure they also have all these ideas they want to do. It's just, it's not like we can just sit down and do them. There are certain ideas that we can't. We either don't have the time, we don't have the finances, we don't have the space, and sometimes we don't have the approval nor the knowledge to do some of these things. There is content to be done. It just, sometimes you have to be lucky to be put in a position that you can do them. So I feel like there is content to do that, but it does help to get the spec maps to be able to have
we like
that
the
conversation.
spec maps. We're not saying we don't like the spec maps. I think
yes,
that if that is what is coming across, then we're not communicating properly, because we like the spec maps. I think the issue is, and we've said this since day one, the leaks. We don't like leaks.
I'm going to use it. I hate the leaks.
And
period. I cannot stand it.
And it seems like every year I think the spec maps are fine. I think they're fun. They're good to get conversation going. But it seems like we get to a point every year where everybody's like 100% confirmed. This is everything that's coming. And then we haven't had announcements yet. And then the announcements do come and we're like, yeah, it was correct.
Not only that too.
And part of that is Universal not announcing things as early.
Yeah.
Like I said, the longer we have to like ruminate on these things and hear rumors and all of those things, then yeah, we're gonna be a little bit more disappointed when we get to the actual announcements because everything's been pretty much solidified. So if Universal did announce earlier, it would get rid of some of that, but at the same time,
it's easier said than done.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that the spec maps are bad or we don't like them.
Like to jump on that, like I love getting.
I wish that like we talked more about like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway,
I feel you though. Look at me. I know what you mean.
I just want to make sure people know you're not saying like.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, let me say, like, I personally adore when we get spec maps. I love them. I love when Horror Night Nightmares puts them together. I personally look at them like they're an official source. I have for years, even before Horror Nights, or we had a Horror Nights channel when we did this whole concept. Before that, I followed and watched Horror Night Nightmares stuff. I also followed other YouTubers who talked about Halloween Horror Nights. You know, like this stuff isn't new to me. I love the spec maps, but I think as a community as a whole, we also need to kind of like make sure we're monitoring ourselves and keeping an eye on it, because there are also some certain, you know, comments that I see that people will put out saying like, oh, could it be this house? I think it's this house, whatever. And there are some people that would comment to them saying, no, it's not going to be the house. This is what it is and all that stuff. And it's like, allow the people to, this is for everyone to have fun. That's the point of this. That's why Horror Nights Nightmares puts these speculation maps together. It's for them and for the community to have fun. It's what it's for. This whole thing, Horror Nights, Halloween Horror Nights exists for people to just have a good time. At the base point, what is my number one favorite thing of Halloween Horror Nights every single year? It's the atmosphere. It's the energy. It's people having fun. What is my number one wish every single year for Halloween Horror Nights? It's every single time for every single guest that it goes to that event to walk out and be like, that was the most fun I've ever had. That's it. That's what this event's for. That's what I want. So I personally would love to see the community to kind of take a step up, you know, step up to the plate and kind of say, hey, you know, we kind of need to monitor this a little bit more and allow the people just have more fun. You know, let people make spec maps, let people speculate and have fun, but hold on to the leaks and the details like that.
See, and that's part of like Jorge said, what makes them a credible source. And like, we don't know. Like, nobody's a credible source other than Universal. But what seems to be happening the last 2 or 3 years is we have people saying, you know, it's 100% this thing. And then everybody starts saying it's 100% this thing. And then it does end up being that thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it came out, it wasn't that, and it's something completely different.
Let me go back to the question though. I think we need to readjust that statement. Talking more of like what makes them a credible source. Here's the thing. It's because they've been pretty accurate with the spec map the past few years.
You're talking about HN Nightmares.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just talking about anybody in general who says, I heard that it's this.
But going back to that question specifically, like, what makes them a credible source is the fact that, you know, yeah, the maps have been pretty accurate the past few years, which is kudos for them. Like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be able to create that stuff and be pretty close. Like, it's cool. There's things that I've speculated and come up with that ends up happening. Like, cool, whatever, right? The thing is, though, too, is the fact that Horror Nights Nightmares has been around for years with Halloween Horror Nights. These are people that I personally trust because they know Horror Nights more than I know. So that's why it's like I consider them credible because
what I was trying to say was I don't think that was the question.
Oh, what's the question?
I don't think the question was what makes HN Nightmares a credible source. What makes these people who are saying, you know, oh, I heard it was this from so and so. What makes them a credible source?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you.
So that was my answer.
Oh, okay. I thought the question was in another way. That's why I wanted to answer it like that.
Maybe it was. I don't know. But that's why
There's only one person that does know, and that's Jorge. Whatever way it was, I think we might have answered I think we might have answered that way. Right?
Hopefully. Anyway,
so.
this was the longest tangent yet, and I think we should get back to the map.
If you guys want. Who wants to get back to the map? But yeah, I'm not trying to get, and we're not name calling here. We're not saying we don't like anything that anybody does. I'm holding myself accountable. Like, this whole conversation is about me. It's about Steph. It's about our channel. It's about our community, the Fright Club. It's about everybody who watches our content. I'm speaking for ourselves. I want to make sure, we just take a step back. We make sure that the number one thing, the focus of all of this is just to have fun. Let's have fun, speculate some things. Let's enjoy the ride. And I hope that gets relayed to other communities within the HHN community. And we can all agree that, we're just here to have fun and stuff. But if you have information, you have a leak, you hold on to that with your life. You guard that. You do not let that slip. You don't let it slip. Please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here this Tuesday evening live stream. Welcome back to what this was supposed to be about. Fun Guy Gamer also joining in. Fright Club member for 20 months. 20 months. Saying, I loved Bed Knobs and Broomsticks Final Magic Armor Battle and hope the museum provides a lot of cool museum murder mayhem. Like that. That would actually be pretty cool. Also, can we just get a shout out to Bed Knobs and Broomsticks? Wow. I haven't heard of that in a long time.
Me neither.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. That would be really neat. I like the idea for it. So let's get back to the speculation map. Ladies and gentlemen that are still with us, over 170 people still live. Hey, give the live stream a thumbs up. Give it a like if you guys are enjoying it. And if you don't, give it a thumbs down. Hey, that's freedom of speech. You can choose what you want to do. But we appreciate it, Appreciate all the love and support, guys. You guys have been incredible. Also,
I don't know if we've had a live stream since we saw Abigail. Did we?
I don't think so. It's been over 2 weeks.
Because I've seen some people in the chat saying they would like an Abigail house. We did see it.
We also haven't had a live stream since we saw Fall Guy.
I thought you were going to say Hereditary.
Oh, and Hereditary. Ladies and gentlemen, I have seen Hereditary in IMAX. Boom, on the big screen.
It would have been better in Dolby.
Well, our Dolby, yeah. The IMAX we went to, it was all right.
It was fine.
But should we give an update? Like, man, I feel like we need another live stream to talk about that. Yeah.
Abigail was all right.
It was fun. Abigail was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. I love when horror movies don't take themselves too seriously.
I think it was very exaggerated.
And then we saw Hereditary, which takes itself very seriously.
I had a good time with Hereditary.
Yeah, it was good.
That day was fun, and we just made it in time to the theater to see it too. It was like an hour and a half drive.
Yeah.
It was far.
And then this is not horror related at all, but Fall Guy was very good too.
Fall Guy was incredible. If you guys get the chance to go see Fall Guy, this is not an ad. Go see Fall Guy. That was such a fun movie. I want to go see it again, and we may go see it again this weekend, to be honest. That's how good it was.
It was very good.
It was so good. So good. So good. Okay, let's get back to the speculation map so we can get these people who really just want to hear what we don't know. We can get that out of the way, and then we can get to the real conversation later after the spec map tonight. Moving on, we went from unknown original. If you guys remember, boom. Version 1, version 2. Fast and Furious location, unknown IP, changed to unknown original. Seems like that place is unknown. But the next location that we go to is tent. In the spring tents, we have...
Did you say spring?
I did say spring because we're in spring. A popcorn. And it used to be where the no sound one was, but now
this is the Hondo
popcorn.
house. Hondo loves popcorn, by the way. So this is the Hondo house.
This has got to be the Hondo house. That'd be cool. Can we get like a... Now my mind's going into this whole house idea.
That would definitely have that Exorcist poop smell in it.
Oh, God.
But yeah, we've been seeing a lot of Slaughter Cinema 2. I would love that because I love Slaughter
I would love that
Cinema.
because I never got to experience Slaughter Cinema. That'd be cool. But
Love
another
Slaughter
thing
Cinema.
too is people talking about, could we get Usher, like an icon return? I know a lot of people talking about, are we getting an icon this year?
I know a lot of people love Usher as an icon.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Did
you ever have AIM, or are you too young?
Way too young. I'm sorry. very, very, way too young for that. Like way
So you
too
never
young.
had AIM?
No, I don't even know what that stands for.
If anybody knows what
AIM.
AIM is or AIM, one of the sounds that I used all the time for when I got a message was Usher going, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Usher would be cool as a icon. I never got to see him at the event other than in Icons.
For HHN 30. Same. I would love to see Usher at the house. Or, I'm thinking of. You guys know who we're talking about.
Yes.
I'd love to see Usher at the event. Can I also put out there another idea? What is one house or what is one property you personally would love to see as a house for this year?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you.
Fall of the House of Usher.
And what was the last word that you just said there?
Usher.
And just like I said, with the little mute symbol, the quiet symbol, people look at the popcorn. You could be thinking, oh, HHN icon related. We're talking about Usher, but you're playing with the words of Usher. Could it be Follow the House of Usher? And I know some of the people in the chats could be like, but it's not an IP. Again, it's a speculation map. Okay, could be anything, right?
We're still holding on hope.
Yeah, we're holding.
Fall of the House of Usher.
Follow the House of Usher. Hey, potentially. And I know it doesn't say it's an IP thing, but if you look at the map, we only have 4 IPs currently. We've recently been having a good split for the event, which I'm okay if there's less IPs. The originals rock all the time. But could we be getting Fall of the House of Usher? And this is a play of symbol and words, and this may not be the location for it. It might go somewhere else, like maybe one of the new sprung tents, or maybe even in a soundstage.
Yeah.
That would be so good as a house.
It would be so good as a house.
Now, out of those 3, if we were to have Slaughter Cinema 2, Usher, like All Night Dying or whatever his was, I think somebody put it in the chat, or Follow the House of Usher, out of those 3, which one?
Can I have all 3?
I mean, if you want, sure. Just give me a couple of months to put it together.
I want all 3 of those.
Though, like, this is the house that I think I'm like the most excited for. Like, it's a symbol of popcorn. And what does popcorn usually relate to?
The movies.
Movies. And what do we love? We love the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And what is Universal so great at? Movies. I mean, like,
The Fall Guy.
what is their theme, right? Yeah, right. Ride the movies at Universal. So it's like this could play in any way and, any shape, form, factor, or whatever that Universal can do that they usually always thrive in.
Whatever it is, I hope that it has the popcorn smell, because I love when they use the popcorn smell. They did that in Icons in Usher's room. Now all I think of is Usher. Like,
Don't.
I think somebody said Ursher.
Ursh.
They had that in the facade, like the
DJ
house
falling in love.
The house entrance for Slaughter Cinema. I love that popcorn smell. Oh, they had it in the entrance for... Wait, did they?
What?
Did they have the smell in the entrance for Oddfellow last year?
Popcorn?
Yeah.
Uh,
I know there was popcorn in the entrance, but I can't remember if they had the smell or not.
All I smelled in that house was sweat. Because the
No,
cast
it was
working
before
hard.
you went inside.
I don't know if I'd smelled it. I just remember the one from Icons, HHN 30. I remember the Usher's scene
It smelled like
popcorn.
that house smelled good. The
Caretaker's roses.
Yeah. That was a
This
good smelling
man
house.
has no heart. Dude, we have to have a live stream where we talk about HHN 30 here.
Oh, Puppet Theater had the popcorn smell? Maybe, yeah.
Actually, I think Puppet Theater did have popcorn
I
smell.
love that smell that they use. It always makes me want popcorn.
Dude, Puppet Theater, man. HHN 30. Like I said, we might have a live stream where we just kind of dive into HHN 30 for a bit.
See, Javier, I thought of that. It's like a spin-off of like one of the properties from Slaughter Cinema 1. Kind of like they did with the Yeti houses. I love a good anthology house. So I really hope that if they do that, I really hope that it would be an anthology again instead. But if I had to pick a room to make into an entire house, it would be Shitty's Kids because I love that room.
No, come on. Cult of the Beast, baby.
I wouldn't want to make a whole house
Oh,
off
come
of
on.
Cult of the Beast,
It's just,
baby.
it's literally, hear me out. It's in a soundstage. And it's one giant room. The entire soundstage. And the baby's in the center. And you all walk in and you all have to go all the way around him. And it's almost in a full circle and out the other end. And when you walk in there, you all have to chant like the Scooby-Doo thing. Oh, he's on it. And everybody does that to this just baby sitting in there. There's just a little mannequin.
No.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I like Sorority Sacrifice too.
What about Pumpkin Guts?
I like Pumpkin Guts too. I love all of them. I think the only one I didn't like was Yeti.
And you like the werewolf bike game one too?
Yeah, I love that one too.
I never went through any of them. You know what? Also,
Amazon
Cannibals from Hell.
Cannibals from Planet Hell. That was good too.
I want to know this.
It was
chat.
a very small room though.
Chat, I want to know. Spam in the chat. Spam in the chat. Would you guys be down for us to potentially do... We might do this more in the off season or during our countdown series, but I think this may be more in the off season where we kind of visit old houses and we do like a live stream where we pull up old house walkthroughs and do old discussions of HHN past decades and things like that. Maybe even like, in the Discord or something. I'll figure more of the logistics out, but would you guys be down for something like that? I need to see at least 320 comments that say yes. If I see exactly 320 comments that say yes, no more, no less, I'll consider doing it.
I don't think there was anything wrong with Yeti. It was just the room in the original Slaughter Cinema House that was like the least.
Wasn't it the last one too?
Yeah, it was the last room. It was like a little underwhelming for me. I think it was just the least like themed because it was just like trees. So that's why it wasn't my favorite. But I did love Barber Chop. Whenever they had
Barber Chop,
I always got scared in that house. I would always get a good jump in the house because he had that little like the old school blade, like the Sweeney Todd blade, and that sound always gets me. Like the little like knife blade sound always gets me.
Like the classic Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Like
in the Halloween houses, that always made me jump too when he would do that. And like the
what did he do?
They did that in the you're distracting me. I can't think.
It's the power of the dance, baby.
They did that in the Pumpkin Guts room too. He had like the little thing that
The carving thing.
Yeah. And it made that sound, and that sound always gets me.
Also, I know everybody's spamming in the chat. Yes, I gotta see how many yeses there actually are. No more,
Cindy
no less.
said yes times 319.
Well, if that's the case, we're way over. I say yes times 3. Yeah, 300. Yeah.
We should do a ranking of our favorite houses ever. We should do that.
We will, actually. We have like I said, I have a document full of ideas that we want to do. And we will do eventually. It just depends on the time, the finances. These things aren't cheap. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Brian's very much it has to be perfect or it doesn't happen at all type of person.
Because this is how I am, right? I know some of you guys remember me saying we're going to do an HHN 28 versus 29 live stream, and we will. I just don't want to do it and feel like I'm not doing it justice. That's just how I feel with a lot of the stuff that we do here in the channel. And to be honest, majority of the things that we have put on the channel, I'm not like the most proud of it because I feel like I want to do it justice because Halloween Horror Nights to me is one of the greatest things there is out there. It's one of the greatest events, and like their quality is second to none. So it's like I want to make sure like what we put out there, if we're in this community, is exactly like that. And I don't feel like we're there yet. So that's why I'm like, I want to wait till we have everything ready to go. And sometimes when you do that, you never get to do it at all, and people hate you for it. But
it's hard when I'm very much
let's just do it.
Done is better than perfect type of person.
Yeah, but I want to make sure it's like done right, because once we do that, that's it. We may never go back to doing that again. So I want to make sure the time that we do something like that is cherished, it's done properly, it's done with justice and honor and love and passion. So, anyways,
so
should we go back?
There's this thing called a map, speculation map.
What, this whole thing right here? I guess we can continue. Yeah, we're at an hour and 50 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we got a long night ahead of us tonight. You know, we're just chatting because we may never be back. This might be our last ever.
That's not true.
Well, it's a possibility.
It is a possibility, but
because there's a dog on the other end of the camera that you guys don't see, and he's looking at us going, "You want to see tomorrow? You end this now and give me my food." Okay, so let's move on. After the popcorn symbol, we go downwards to a lantern that is also joined with a film reel, kind of hinting towards it being an IP. The entire conversation for this house is Insidious. Insidious right now, I've never seen any of the Insidious films, so I don't really know anything about Insidious. So I can't really speak for it, but this is what the community is kind of talking about. The lantern has a big purpose with it, Insidious, the Insidious franchise.
Apparently.
That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. I've never seen it. Have you seen Insidious?
I've seen the first one.
Okay. So
pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of everybody's going to come for me. I'm not a huge fan of like the PG-13 paranormal horror. Like there was like a time period where all of those were coming out. It was like Insidious, The Conjuring, like all of those.
Paranormal Activity is what you're thinking of, really?
No,
like the big one.
I mean, Paranormal Activity is completely its own thing.
Really?
Yeah, because it's
I thought that's
found
kind of like
footage.
that, though. Oh, but isn't it like that
yeah,
PG-13 paranormal
It was
stuff?
kind of that time period, but
Yeah. Okay.
all of those, not a huge fan of those. So I've seen the first Insidious, didn't really care too much to see more than the first one.
Yeah. Really, with this, I don't know, because since it's an IP, it's like it's not an original where we can think of like, oh, it could be this, could be that. It's an IP, so I'm like, I don't know. Also,
yeah,
Braden.
I'm sorry, but I'm not the biggest fan of James Wan.
Well,
Not as a person, just like movies.
I don't like him as a person at all.
I don't know him.
Braden also said, what about Camp Crystal Lake? Jason, Friday the 13th. I mean, yeah, this lantern obviously could point towards things like that. A lantern can also point things to like anything needing to be seen in the dark. I think we will be getting Jason and Friday the 13th to Halloween Horror Nights. I just don't think it will be for this year. I think that's going to be coming out either next year or the year after that. But I do think Camp Crystal Lake, the show, will have some kind of implication to Horror Nights and stuff in a way where we may get that. I just don't think it's this year. I think it'll be next year or so, or even just based on the films. I think we'll get it later, but that is on my mind.
I would much prefer that over Insidious.
But what I personally would love, I mean, here we are. I would love for a year that Halloween Horror Nights has, where it's just like the classic slashers, where you got Ghostface, right? So Scream is a house. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even though it's been recently, and I don't really care for that one. Sure, make that a house. I know people love it, right? Halloween with Michael Myers, give him a house, right? Friday the 13th, give Jason his house. Freddy Krueger, right? Nightmare on Elm Street, give him his house. If you want to give Chucky a house, you know, we recently did too. Go ahead, sure, give him a house. But like, have those like very well-known classic slashers in a way. I know Texas Chainsaw, would that really be considered a slasher? I mean,
yeah,
right, kind of. But it's like, have those, like, give those those are the IPs. Those are the 5 properties that we're getting, and then we're gonna get originals based on whatever. But it's like, I would love for a year like that, where it's like, just like, what were they considered? The Titans of Terror, I think, is what they're called. That Horror Nights in Hollywood called them, the Titans of Terror, something like that. It's like, it'd be so cool to have like those main figures come to the event all in the same time, and imagine, you know, just imagine them at the event, each having their own house. I just think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would love Hellraiser too.
I've never seen Hellraiser, so I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool.
I would love a Lost Boys house.
Another film I haven't seen.
You would like it. It's very 80s, very vampire.
Yeah, I've had a lot of.
You would like it.
That's kind of my TikTok page. Very
Lost
80s,
Boys?
very vampire like.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's, if you guys want to know what Brian's like TikTok for you page is like, it's 80s. It's vampirical. It's very dark. It's dark winter. It's gloom. It's depressing.
You know why I like watched Lost Boys for the first time when I did? It was because this is some like Stephanie lore. It was because my parents and I used to be obsessed with the show 24 on, I don't know what it was, like FX or something like that. And the main character was played by Kiefer Sutherland, and he is in Lost Boys. So that was the reason why I watched Lost Boys, because I was like, oh my God, I forget what his name was in the show. But so I was like, I have to watch that.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I love that movie because it's very 80s vampire.
Vampires. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Next up, which one do you want? Let's just do it in the order that it is. We have the black and white house.
I think this is just the black and white skull.
Should I do this right here? Boom. If you guys look, I know you see the locations. They kind of change, right? Look at the top left. You have that black and white skull. That was from version burp. That was version 1. But if you go here, this is version 2 with the black and white house. You know, the black and white house, referencing that it's a house, the black and white, relating to the black and white skull, which was relating to the Tribute of Terror, which was the tribute story, which the only part that was black and white was the second part of the tribute story, which was the Boris Schuster section. Therefore, we're still thinking this is what that is. Boris Schuster, Legendary Truth, Case Files kind of vibe. That's what we're probably looking at. Again, I think that is such a popular thing with the HHN community. Me, myself, love it. I actually created a 3-year, 3 seasons story, custom story that we were going to do for our Countdown to HHN series over on Instagram that is all related to that. And we may do that in the future for you guys. But I think in one of our live stream after parties on Discord, I think I talked to the community about that. So yeah, there's a huge community that loves the Boris Schuster Legendary True stuff. I'm still thinking that's what it is, and
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it is.
I like it.
Love it. And then the final house that we have here that we have to discuss.
This one I have no idea.
I don't know either.
That would be cool.
With Brendan Fraser.
But it's not an IP.
So,
but Dueling Dragons was technically an original, and The Mummy, well, no, because even The Mummy, the ride is based off the movie, which is based off the classic monster, which is IP original.
I think you're confusing your own brain in that
I am.
A little brainception there.
I don't know.
So, when I look at this, you know, it looks like it's a museum, right? There's obviously something important that's behind stanchions. It looks like it's a museum. We've had museum-themed houses at HHN before. If you go way back into the 90s, we actually had a year, 1995. I think we had a year where there was a museum and the stuff in the museum came to life, and it was like horror figures, you know, classic monsters, I think was kind of in it as well. This could potentially be something like that in a way. We also, if you look at the previous version 1, we had the Minotaur. And the Minotaur, as well as what is the Eye of Ra, which is more Egyptian, that whole region is in the Mediterranean, and you know, right above Egypt is Greece, and right below Greece is Egypt, on the eastern side of the Mediterranean. So it's like, could we be getting something Egyptian? Could we be getting something mythological and Greek? Or could we be getting something that's a mashup in that area? Or is it just a museum of those things?
That would be cool. It's kind of like
Night at the Museum with
I mean,
Robin Williams.
I mean, yeah, but like Black Mirror has, what is it? The Black Museum. It's all like kind of like dark stuff. Like in the museum, it's all like things that are dark, kind of like the museum. I think there's one out in California that's like the Museum of Death. And it's like, what if it's all that type of stuff? Like that's the kind of museum, but then it's, oh, that stuff comes to life.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, maybe, yeah.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I honestly prefer, I don't know, if it was Egyptian related, I'm down for. If it's Greek mythological related, I am down for. If it's a museum thing, whatever, I am down for. If it's a museum about Greek mythology and or Egyptian, like ancient culture, like I'm down for that. Like all of these, I'm up for. I like this. I love this. I love the history behind these cultures in this region. I've done a lot of studies in these regions and stuff. So like something like that would be neat. A museum in general would be really cool, but something more specific like that would be nice to dive into. I would love to see that. I personally would love to see a Greek mythological themed house that has like Medusa, that has like the Minotaur, that has the Cyclops, but I want them to go very dark. For any of my video game nerds out there, you guys remember Assassin's Creed Odyssey? If any of you guys played it, I personally love the game. One of my favorite things is when you would actually come across some of these Greek mythology type characters like Medusa, like the Cyclops, like the Minotaur. But one thing that was so cool about this game is it didn't make it mystical and mythological. They made them horror related. They made these things very dark and scary because in nature, in the true stories of these creatures, they're not, oh, it's like mythical. No, these are like dark, they're horror stories, you know, and that's the game portrayed it as such. And I would love to see Horror Nights kind of take that and portray it in a way too, where they really do the, you know, the true versions of these characters and the stories of how they're really meant to be, you know, tragedies, and it's supposed to be dark and stuff. So that's why I would prefer that. But then again, I don't know. All right.
Brian can talk about
Everything. All the time.
I mean, not really mythology, Greek history in general, world history.
Yes. Anyways, we're not here for that. We're here for HHN. So
I don't really know what that one is.
yeah, I love the route that this is going. I love the conversation the community is having about this house right now, and I hope that it's true. I hope it sticks to that. I would love to see that. I know some people have also said Poseidon's Fury. Cool. I personally don't want to see Poseidon's Fury as a house just yet.
Yeah.
Just yet. If it were to become a house, right? If everyone's like, yes, we want it as a house. Okay, cool. That'd be cool. But I don't think being like the year after it closed down, we should get it as a house. What makes it nostalgic is giving it a couple more years and then bringing it back, just like Dueling Dragons, you know, giving it some of that time. It was fan favorite, fan loved, and then it's been some years, and then now you bring it back as a house and give it that, just that little callback to love and attention. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, there's your 10 speculated houses that we have on the map. But we're not done.
And then there's a show. Okay, that's it.
We have to talk about the show that's on this map. And the show that we're talking about on this map is not on this map. It's on this map. It's the one that went away. We're not going to talk about the fire in the corner.
That's what I was talking about.
We're not going to talk about that one yet. As you guys notice, here's speculation map version 1. As you guys can see, there was 2 shows on the speculation map. Fast forward to version 2, we only have 1 show. I truthfully would love to know what that castle show or whatever, what that was, what it was supposed to be, what it was hinting at. Because the one thing that's interesting to me is besides it just being a castle thing, it had a film reel by it, which means it's an IP related, an IP show. The one thing we thought about was, and we're coming full circle from that conversation with Beetlejuice earlier in the live stream, is the Beetlejuice Graveyard Review coming back and kind of seeing something like that, or seeing Beetlejuice as a character come back, playing with the new movie coming out this year and all that, and having the character at Horror Nights in some sort of way or capacity. I thought that would have been really cool. But then we go to version 2, and it's not there. However, between this time period, in a way, we've been getting a lot of updates with the Lagoon, and we were kind of questioning, will the Lagoon be ready by Horror Nights? Will it be operational? And June 14th will be its debut day for the new show that they're going to have in the Lagoon, which means more than 2 months is it already going to be out and operational could we potentially see a Halloween Horror Nights nighttime Lagoon show for the event? We didn't have one last year.
I really hope so.
I mean, I think that it's one of the issues we had with last year's Halloween Horror Nights event was the fact that there were some dead zones. We've talked about this before. And we also did a video. If you guys haven't seen the video that we posted, I think 3 days ago, go check it out. It talks about the potential for a nighttime Lagoon show for Halloween Horror Nights. Please go check it out. Give it some love because we also talked about it. I don't think we're going to talk about it in depth too much today. But we talked about multiple times of how, like, last year's event, there was just a lot of dead spaces. It just felt like it just didn't feel right. But if you have the Lagoon show, we feel like that could fill up those dead spaces by hearing the atmosphere, by seeing me hit this a couple of times, but by seeing the lights and the water and projections, whatever they might have, and we could even potentially have some like really cool features this year with maybe drones and things of such nature. So
I don't know how I feel about the drones. I don't know, like all the things I've seen of like drones for shows and stuff, I'm like,
I mean, I get what you mean, but imagine if they put like blades on the end of these drones and masks and they have the drones go after people and stuff like that. Now you're in. Can you imagine hearing
I don't know, I just don't like the drones.
All right, I mean, that's okay. That's all right.
Maybe if I saw it in person, I'd be like, whoa.
You have never been like, whoa, for anything in person.
You're not wrong.
Here's the thing. I'm not like a big fan for the drones. I just like the fact that it could be something unique. It could work. Could be a flop. But why shouldn't we try?
Sure.
Why shouldn't we try? We should give them the old drone show and see if it goes through. That would be such a safety hazard. So, it's Halloween Horror Nights.
That's the point.
Anyways.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, speculation map version 1, version 2, there's not much. Just some location changes, some swap ups here and there for some of the properties. And then this is version 1, we lost that show, whatever that show was. Whether it was going to be a Lagoon show, whether it was going to be animal actors, the animals come out and do a Halloween costume party contest, which I thought
would love that.
That'd be cool. I think that was one of our little conversations in the past live stream. That would be neat.
But their costumes are like slashers.
Yeah. We get the vote. You can bring your own pup to HHN and have him in the contest.
No, I think that's too much. Brian keeps having these ideas of like, oh, the theme park should have like a bring your dog day.
Yeah.
Or like dogs are allowed. And I'm like, that would be pure chaos.
Bark at the park day.
Bark at the park.
Bark at the park with Hondo. Your host, Hondo.
It would just be barking and chaos.
Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Wouldn't you love that?
I don't know. Anyway.
I think it'd be cool. Imagine just like, down the main strip of Universal, just like the main one by Minions Land and all that stuff. Imagine it filled with everybody's dogs all sitting there all nice and they're all looking at one camera and it's like 5,000 dogs right there and it's just the biggest gathering of dogs in a theme park.
Get them all to sit there like that.
No, I mean, absolutely not.
But yeah, I don't think we're getting an animal actors show, unfortunately.
Yeah, darn. That would be cool for animal actors to have a Halloween overlay during the day.
It would be cute.
Imagine like the animals coming out in all their Halloween costumes as they're running and stuff.
That would be really cute.
Universal, please, if you get the chance to do this, if anybody from Universal is watching at 10:30 Eastern time, 2 hours into this live stream with over 150 people just watching us with nothing better than do, if you're one of those people, Universal, please, I will pay for a ticket to watch that show. Every single show, I'll pay a ticket to watch.
Anyway, I don't think Animal Actors is happening. We don't know if the Lagoon show is happening now.
Yeah, I don't know. But for the fact that it's going to be debuting June 14th, it seems like, they've been working on this Lagoon for a while. I don't see why they wouldn't be thinking of working on a potential Lagoon show for Horror Nights as well, especially since the Lagoon's up, it's running, especially a few months before the event starts. I feel like they would have the time and have had the time to work on something. So why not?
But they did leave Death Eaters on there.
Yeah, Death Eater's on in there. And then there's
would
that
assume-
fire symbol.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. It's just going to be a
It's
bonfire
just
for
a
people
big
to sit around.
bonfire,
Yeah.
That would actually be great. Let's do that instead.
You talk about safety? Talk about the
It's
drones being a
also
safety
like
issue?
100 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's like 100 degrees, humid as can be, and then you got all these people drinking
I mean,
and stuff
that's
standing by the
basically
bonfire.
what nightmare fuel is. You go in there, you're sweating, and
mean,
then
yeah,
the
that's true.
fire starts, and you're like,
And then the fire starts.
like my face is melting.
This should be the new story entrance for Nightmare Fuel. And then the fire starts, burner.
Instead of welcome to the nightmare.
Yeah. And the fire starts.
Anyway, we think some sort of show is
Oh.
coming to that.
I thought you said we thank. You're like,
We
anyways,
thank you all for coming.
That's it. I'm tired. I'm done.
We do think that some sort of show is coming back to that Fear Factor stage.
I mean, yeah, it has to be.
Something with fire. We're hoping it's a different storyline. If we go opening night and they roll a bed out, I'm getting up and leaving. No, I'm kidding.
I'm going to that bed and I'm laying down and sleeping.
No, I just want a different storyline.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if it's kind of the same show, like the Fuel Girls and the same like performers and dancers, because they're all amazing. I just want a different storyline.
Yeah. I felt like last year was a good close to that storyline, that
Yeah.
chapter and stuff. It'd be cool to go onto something else.
I would love more magic.
Yeah, dark magic.
They do like maybe 3 little magic things,
Like
in there.
illusions and stuff.
I would like more of that.
I want personally, and we've said this before, I personally think that Halloween Horror Nights, like, they need more offerings to handle the crowds, right? I feel like we're having some, a lot of crowd issues here and there, that's great. Like, that is great news. I know people hate when it's so busy. I love when it's so busy because it means Horror Nights is doing well. People are there. People want to be there. But we need more offerings to run such capacity. And, we're...
I mean, the
we're-
Megan Horde wasn't enough.
Anyways, we need more than just houses and scare zones. Like, we need more shows. I feel like shows is such a great way. But the problem with shows is that they're so limited. I feel like we need more shows. So getting a Lagoon show would be nice, but another like stage show, but something smaller. It doesn't have to be the main one like Fear Factor with like the Nightmare Fuel and all that stuff. It could be something smaller. And I personally would love to see a behind the scenes panel at Halloween Horror Nights on select days and stuff where they can do like some special things behind the scenes or the storyline for that year's event. That'd be really cool.
I would like just a full magic show.
Yes. and
Like we
that would-
have
yes.
like Nightmare Fuel, but then also like maybe in the either in Animal Actors or in...
You are making so many noises right now,
No, I'm
and I can
not.
hear you are.
Stop.
You're talking about horror makeup show.
Yes.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say is that it would be cool to see a magic show at the event,
Yeah, I want a magic show.
or even just do horror makeup fuel horror makeup show, and do a Halloween Horror Nights overlaid one.
Horror makeup fuel.
I don't like that. Just a horror makeup show. Like do a Halloween Horror Nights overlaid, like little show there. And like they can have 2 different casts where one does one show, and then like 10 minutes later you load it up with the next people and another cast does that show, and then they can revolve around that to have the actors have the breaks that they need between shows, and you could run like 8 to 10 of those shows and stuff a night, so you can do more than what like Nightmare Fuel can, where Nightmare Fuel was only like 4 shows. You can do like 10, 11, 12 shows throughout the night because they're shorter, smaller capacity shows, but they can get some of the crowd eaten away, do something really cool, unique, just quick, boom, boom, awesome, next, boom, 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 awesome, next.
Yeah.
And then you can go and see the different casts, so you have a different, unique experience. And that's something that the makeup show does so well, is that no 2 shows are the same. They're same script and the same idea, but because the actors, they play with the audience in a way, there's some improv in that no two shows are the same. Same with Animal Actors, one of the greatest shows on earth. No two shows are the same with that one. So, have we tired any of you guys? Are you guys bored as we near the halfway point to tonight's live stream at 2 hours and 15 minutes?
These are giving me a headache.
These are giving me headache.
I said a headache.
Oh, well, obviously I have one because I can't hear. You drinking water?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to wrap it up? Are you tired?
Do you have more to talk about?
I have a lot to talk about. I can go on forever. Nobody will outlast me. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys all for joining us in tonight's live stream. It's Tuesday evening, talking about the version 2 to Halloween Horror Night Nightmares speculation map, version 2. It was fun. I mean, we got to look at some things. There's been some changes from version 1, version 2. You know, we got to kind of do that little tangent story that I did want to talk about as far as like the titles or the symbols. Which one did you like? Talk about speculation season, the community overall, and just kind of the roles on it. So we kind of got into that. I did want to talk about that and bring that up. So I'm happy that we did that. But also just letting you guys know, as I'm looking at the clock, I want to bring this up too. It's 10:52, so we are just about 1 hour away from our Fright Club store closing down temporarily for the new launch to come out next week, Tuesday the 14th. That's what we're planning. We have some new apparel coming in that I'm super excited for. This like I said, this is the actual apparel that we've been wanting to show, that we're wanting the heartburn, that we're wanting to put out there for you guys. This is it. So we are just about an hour away until we close down the Fright Club shop. It's in the description to this live stream. You guys check out the description. You can see where it is. The link, www.frightclubshop.com, and use discount code BUY20 for 20% off your entire order. That will only last until midnight. When the store closes down, you won't be able to use that. So use it while you can. Some of those items on the shop, like the hoodie, the Fright Club hoodie, might not ever return again, like this style. So if you guys want to see some of the merch and get it, go ahead. If not, save up the money because we're going to be releasing some new items and stuff.
And they're good.
They good. Do you guys want to know?
That's Brian's theme song.
Heartburn, imprisoning me. Right. Yeah, I read that and I was like, yeah. Do you guys want to know? Man, I'm not going to show you guys. I don't want to show you guys any of the merch yet. If you guys were part of the Fright Club on Discord, you guys know we did do a little sneak peek at 2 of the merch items with a specialty 3rd one. But we have 2 of the items that we showed that will be in the store. But I can talk about maybe what the names of the collections are. Maybe one of the names.
Do one of the names.
One of the names. I'll do my favorite collection name so far.
Okay.
So one of the collection names. So we have a new line, a new launch coming out, right? So this launch will feature multiple collections, and each collection will have obviously a theme around the name of the collection. And one of those is called Death Isn't Permanent. So Death Isn't Permanent. Think of that, you know, the undead, skeletons, grim reapers, things of that such. And we have a couple of designs and stuff that are featured to such. So I'm excited for that. That'll be coming next Tuesday, potentially. So Death Isn't Permanent. That's one of the collections. And I can't say the rest because we're going to save them for that next live stream. So next Tuesday, the 14th, we will be doing a live stream. We'll be back here in Studio Fright Club to talk with you guys about something. We don't know yet. We'll make something up.
Maybe we'll have some sort of news or
maybe an announcement. Maybe there'll be something to talk about with you guys. We'll obviously be talking about the merchandise, and we may be talking about some past HHN stuff, because after tonight's live stream, I'm kind of like, I'm really thinking of HHN 30. I'm like, kind of miss it.
Yeah.
We might talk about some things. Maybe next week, Tuesday, might be more of like this live stream, but even more laid back. Like no agenda, just kind of like have fun, go at it, let you guys go at it. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys, but you know what? For the OGs that are still here, the 120 plus people, we're not done because we have one session remaining, and that is a rapid fire Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys remember at the end of our live streams, we have rapid fire. This is for you guys. There is 5 minutes on the clock. Ask any question that you guys want to. and we'll try to get to them in the 5 minutes. Stephanie, you are going to read the question. Whatever comes up, go away. Ladies, should I hold up? Should I have done? Go away. Should I restart the clock so it gives people time to ask the questions? Or is
yeah.
Okay. I'll restart.
Give it a
I'll restart
second.
the clock. I'm sorry.
Give it
I'll
a
count down
second.
from 15 in my mind, but start asking any questions that you guys want in the chat. We're doing our rapid fire Q&A section to wrap up tonight's live stream. And I am going to go ahead and start the timer in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I lied. It's starting now. All right, rapid fire. Let's go.
Where's Hondo?
He's on the couch over there.
He looks goofy.
He's actually upside down.
Yeah.
Arms are all over the place.
We'll bring him in at the end.
Yeah.
What original house do you want a sequel for?
Right. Okay. Off the top of my mind right now, Graveyard Games.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Love to
I'm
see
gonna
Graveyard
say
Games.
Slaughter Cinema.
I mean, yeah.
What house do you think? I don't think we can answer that. Favorite aspect of a potential HHN house?
Well, I'm sorry. Ask that again.
Favorite aspect of a potential HHN house?
Favorite aspect of a potential house.
Slaughter Cinema.
I'm gonna say atmosphere.
Yeah.
There's one specific in mind. That's all I can say. Go ahead.
When do you think Hollywood tickets will be announced?
That is a good question because Hollywood, our friends on the West Coast, they have no information on anything compared to what we at least have dates and tickets. I personally think by June. I think this month of May, our next announcement in general will be for Hollywood. And then we may get one. Or it's a dual coast announcement and then Hollywood finally gets their information.
Will there be an after party?
Tonight, no. Unfortunately, no after party tonight. Sorry, don't mean to bum you out, but nothing planned tonight for an after party. However, next week, Tuesday, we'll potentially have an after party planned for that.
Best food and drink at HHN.
Stephanie, would you like to answer that one?
I don't know. Every year, I feel like it's different. Like our favorites are different every year, obviously, because they have different food every year. But
Favorite all time?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have to be boring and say pizza fries.
Pizza fries is a good choice. I like pizza fries. I'm personally going to go with the brisket from Huntington Hill House. That's still HHN 30. Again, another HHN 30 reference.
Yeah.
What is going on?
That was good too.
Yeah.
What are the poster frames you guys have? I was just going to try to look to see if I could find it.
Who's asking that?
Alex.
Alex, if you
Have
can.
it pulled up.
Yeah.
I got it on Amazon.
Real quick. Do this instead. Alex, if you can, email us at brianfromorlando@gmail.com with that question, and we'll send you the links and all that stuff so you can have it.
I will say we took the glass part out, so
they come with
that's
a
why
glass frame.
there's no glare
Yeah.
if you're trying to get that.
But yeah, if you can, Alex, at brianfromorlando@gmail.com, send an email with that because then we can respond to that with all the information for you.
If Fast and Furious comes back on Spec 3 with IP, could it be The Last of Us Part 2 because they could use the extra queue space and it's 2 stories and it fits in 2 sections?
It's a long question. However,
Yes.
is it a question? Well, I'm just gonna say possibly.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna say I
Never
would
say
love
never.
that. I would love that. I would love that.
What icon would you invite to your wedding? None of them.
Fear.
We have fear at our wedding.
We
What
already
year
do.
was your favorite HHN? 28.
29. I don't know. The more I think of 28 was so solid all the way around. But 29 was fun.
Would you want a horror character meetup at HHN?
A horror character meetup. What does that mean?
Like a meet and greet?
Oh, like
If they did a proper like character dining again, yes, but not like a area where you could go like get photos.
yeah, I would say like stick to what they've done with the character dining or do the Peacock Bar experience, like that stuff.
Favorite speculated house on the new spec map?
The popcorn symbol
Yeah, whatever the popcorn
or
symbol
the
is.
museum one.
Whatever the popcorn one is, because I love all of that.
Yeah, all those 3 potentials that we talked about.
David S. Pumpkins, keep or ditch. We actually did not see him last year at all.
Nope, didn't.
So
We're also down to 30 seconds.
you can get rid of it. What console does Brian frequent? PlayStation. Do you think scare actors should have more liberties when trying to scare people?
Yes. Absolutely yes. 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 Stamp of approval. I'm going to go all the way to the last 9 seconds. Yes. Give them more freedom. Give them more power. Power to the people. Yes. Buzzer beater. Rapid fire Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your questions. Wrapping it up. Yes, I think scare actors need a little more freedom. I think we need to give more. We got to get more energy into them. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into too much detail.
Hollywood last year, and they definitely have more freedom over there, and it made it so much better.
Yes.
Not so much better than Orlando, but like the actors over there were able to be better. Yeah. Because they have a little bit more freedom.
I'll do one more question. Just one more. If we didn't get to your questions, hold on to them. We'll have our next live stream. We'll do another rapid fire Q&A every live stream at the end, and maybe even one in the middle or in the beginning. Who knows? We'll do rapid fire Q&A. So if we don't get to your question now, save it. We'll ask it in the next one possibly. But I do want to bring this one up real quick as I shut down rapid fire Q&A. Will you guys be attending Hollywood this year? We don't know.
We really want to.
We really want to. However, things are pretty expensive right now. And we're looking finances and the stuff that we're trying to get for the studio, as well as just personal things. And you guys know everybody's got a life right now. Most of us, Chris. And it's just, things are expensive. It's not cheap. So we're looking at, can we go to Hollywood? We would like to, but we don't know. Maybe not. Like, I would love to. It's just like, it is expensive. And I'd rather put that money towards making content and then being here in Orlando and giving Orlando as much as we can. Because I feel like we still haven't, even when we're at HHN, I still feel like we haven't given it our all in making content at the event, during the event.
It's hard.
So I'd like to try to focus on that more this year. But if we can go to Hollywood, that'd be cool. Like, that'd be neat.
It also might depend on what's announced out there. Yeah,
true. And then just our jobs and stuff, because this is not all we do. We have a minimum of 5 to 6 different jobs.
Anyway.
So it depends if we get time.
Maybe.
Good night.
These are really hurting my head.
All right, we're wrapping it up. We'll wrap it up. You don't have to. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to put them on. You can hear me right here. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the 120 of you guys watching, I want to thank all of you guys for still watching us right now. I mean, 2.5 hours in the live stream. I mean, pretty long live stream that we had today. I'm surprised. I was expecting an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if we really pushed it, but an hour and a half, and we succeeded an hour over that. But again, like I said, it started the live stream at the beginning, wanting to thank all of you guys for everything. It's been incredible. We're loving the journey that we're on. Things are rolling. We got some exciting things coming your way soon, and we're looking forward to that. And it's been fun. I enjoyed. I'm excited for this year's event. I really am. I think this year it could be fun. It's got potential. Just got to give it some time and let it do its thing. We'll see how it comes out. But I think that's gonna be it. I think we have one more thing to do. One more person to show. Our series finale, our live stream finale here. The Grandmaster Hondo with.
He got a bath today.
I was about to say very fresh. My man is silky smooth, fresh. Daddy gave him a bath today, and
Getting ready for Grandma and Grandpa to come over.
Queen. Yeah, we got some family coming in, so be able to see them. Exciting, huh, buddy? No. Can't say that. Grandma and Grandpa might see this. They might be pissed. What? Yeah, scratch this, mommy. Do your job. As you hit yourself in the face with your tail. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us in tonight's live stream. No live stream after party tonight, but stay tuned for more content coming out this week, as well as our next live stream next Tuesday, May 14th, around 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Wish you guys all the best. And until the next video, next live stream, or whatever we decide to do next, we'll see you guys there. And like always, Hondo will catch you in the fog. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.